Go for it.
Good evening and welcome to the start of our new show, our new campaign, where we will be playing through the Enemy Within campaign using 4th edition Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. My name is Jim and I'll be your games master through this campaign. And these are my players and a rundown of what they are playing.
Hello, I'm Ben, latest addition to this merry band of intrepid heroes. I shall be playing Stefan Komish, who is a wizard's apprentice, a skinny, pale-skinned teenage wunderkind who's very, very clever, but built like a racing whippet that's not very good at racing.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron, and I will be playing Racer. He is an Eoneer, or as the Reichlanders like to say, wood elf fencer. He has dark auburn hair streaked with gold to match his gold-colored eyes, and he stands about 6'4". But he's young for an elf, only 100 years old, and it shows in his eagerness and open attitude. He was born into the Torior, or city-born kindred of one of the ruling classes, and hails from the city Tor Lenethel, in the capital of Lorelorn. He is the nephew on his father's side of Lady Dalina of House Malforic, the Warden of the Sun and the Vicarious of the High Council. He was selected to undertake a sacred 100-year joint mission with a dwarf to monitor the spread of chaos taint among the humans and curtail it where possible. He was chosen because of his family, both the sword masters of his father's line and the mystics of his mother's.
Excellent.
Hello, I'm Lewis, and I'm playing Polus Hector von Bru Speyer, the human horseman, who doesn't really have that much of a backstory, probably because he's a human and won't live that long, so he doesn't need it. But he does have a very fine moustache and very dry trousers at the moment.
Does he have a jester's hat?
Oh, yeah.
I happened to accidentally have shipped that off to my former commander. Oops. It's a nice gift for him. Wonder if I can find some more.
Hello, I am Josh, and I am playing Turpin Merriweather. I am a halfling physician's apprentice, and well, I was a chef, and our actual physician, well, she died of a mysterious festering injury. So now I am seeking Altdorf to answer all of the questions what I ask about physicianing. For example, if you sew a newt to a man's hand, will he grow back a finger or a tail? That's most of my character development done right there.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Alric Granite Hand, who is a dwarf tunnel fighter. He hails from Karak Ziflin and, like the elf, is on a 100-year mission assigned by his people as after a bargain was struck between them and the Eoneer, after a conflict between them, which happened around the time of Magnus the Pious. Because of that, they didn't help out in that conflict and humanity went to hell, so their people made a deal between them that they would lend their assistance to each other to purge the world of men of chaos. Unfortunately, he drew the short straw and has to travel with an elf for 100 years. But, 100 years isn't that much, really. I mean, we'll probably have to change manlings a few times, but, c'est la vie, as the Britannians would say.
Yeah, we'll get Paulus's great-great-grandson to help us finish it off.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just recruit some of their great-grandkids. But, yeah, that's me.
Okay, so thank you very much for that, everybody. So if you're a patron, you would have seen last week that we did a bit of a warm-up adventure just to get ourselves up and running again, in which Lewis, Roger and Aaron took part. Ben's been a late comer, so we were looking for 5 people and Ben came along, luckily, to give us more of a chance to get through those difficult encounters. Josh was working last week, so it's the first time that the group's been together. This will be the group going forward as well. So yeah, we're independent from the last one. This is a whole new start, whole brand new start, and we hope that you enjoy what we do. It's likely to be a little bit clunky to start with, but I'm sure we'll get into our rhythm as soon as we go. So every week, one more thing, every week, the audience at the end of the session get to choose, or if everybody's gone to sleep by then, I'll choose a player of the session. Now, this is really important because that player doesn't get any extra experience points and that. Oh no, that'd be far too easy. What he gets to do is he gets to recap what happened this week next time that we're on. And thanks to a great idea from Aaron, they'll be doing that in character as well. So you get to hear a diary entry or a letter back to mum or whatever in what went on the week before, how the dwarf kept having to be rallied back in and, all this. So bear with us. We'll get there. I'm hoping that you enjoy it. And I'm sure that we'll put some entertainment towards you. Okay, so we're going to start with the halfling and the wizard apprentice trudging down the road looking for a stagecoach inn. And you've heard that there's an inn up ahead called the Coach and Horses Inn. Quite an apt name. So you're heading to there, and in the distance you can see the bright lights of the inn through the sheeting rain. You get closer and closer until nearly there, you notice that there's a group of 8 or 9 people stood in the middle of the road, blocking your path to the inn.
Naturally, Turpin has been talking non-stop this entire time, feverlessly. So has missed this fact. I had my knee on his chest. It took me all the pulling I could do to get it out, as long as my arm. Should have seen the teeth. I mean, the suction alone.
You do get big teeth on those ones, especially the ones from the river, because the exposure to random mutative factors in the water can be quite. I've just remembered I have not put an accent yet, so there we go. I shall remember the accent. Yeah. So mutative factors in the water. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, it was delicious. That's all I'll say. What are these lads about?
Mr. Turnips, people in the road.
Friend or foe?
Oh, they're both very friendly. Thank you.
Oh, too friendly, I've been told.
Excessively familiar, I have heard.
Is it just you and your child friend, or is there more of you?
I am not a child. I have reached the age of 17 and am perfectly capable of surviving alone.
His mustache is coming in mighty fine, I must say.
Yeah, boss. I think one of them halflings. Yeah. Oh. Sorry. You and your halfling companion. Yeah. Now, this road takes a lot of repair and upkeep and things like that. So I hope you understand that to pass here and towards the inn, there is a road tax, I'm afraid.
Well, you are in luck, whereas we unfortunately are not, because while we have no coin, what we do have is genius.
Absolutely.
Between the two of us, we are highly educated. And so along the way, we have noted several things about the road that will need to possibly be forwarded to your superiors. So what I can do, if you like, is I can write down a set of notes and possibly some suggestions for ways in which the roadway could be improved and possibly save you a fortune on road covering and repairs. Because if you institute these changes, I think you'll find that a cantilever in the road pattern will actually make a huge difference to you.
If you imagine it like a pie, sir, you got to pre-bake the crust before you put the filling in. Otherwise, it falls apart.
Yeah, he's quite correct. Only unlike a pie, you need to structure the internal layers as well, because you need to allow for some drainage. See, unfortunately, one of the problems we have with roads in the Empire is they do not adequately drain.
That's it. I mean, you'll notice it's raining, right?
Stop raining in days. Hold on a minute. All right. So you're telling me you've got no coin?
Sir, I'm going to stop you right
totally
there.
Broke, I'm afraid.
You seem to have contact dermatitis on your hand.
What?
Left untreated, sir, that will spread, and you'll have a right nasty rash.
Yeah, my learned friend here is a physician.
You're both making my head hurt a lot. Yeah. So
And that's a migraine. He's got a migraine. Sir, I'm going to need to drill a hole in your skull.
I'd like you to empty your pockets and all your goods on the floor in front of you, and then you can pass by and go to the inn or go carry on the road to Outdorf.
But I am mainly carrying paper, and it is raining. So if I empty it onto the floor, the paper will become wet, and it'll be of no use to anybody.
Leave it in. What are you carrying it in now? And put that on the floor.
My satchel.
Listen, right? There's death in these hands, right? Death.
Also, contact dermatitis,
Contact
according to my
dermatitis,
physician friend.
Well, it is handy that you're asking me to lay this down, sir. On account, the only thing I'm currently carrying is a singular bandage, which may help with the contact dermatitis. Can I see your hand, please?
No,
sir?
don't put it on the ground. If you're going to put it on his hand, you mustn't put it on the ground. Then it will become muddy.
Oh, well, you see, we disagree on this because I think if you wash your hands, you wash away the good humors, and you let the ghosts in under your fingernails. And we don't want ghosts. He doesn't want to be haunted, does he?
Well, obviously, he doesn't want to be haunted.
Oh, sir, it's basic medicine. Now, will you be taking the bandage?
No, but you can leave whatever coin and valuable goods of whatever you're carrying on the floor.
Right. Well, there is my consultation fee.
What?
Well, on account of I told you you've got contact dermatitis, that comes to 2 brass pennies, sir.
He raises a very good point.
Got anything for a headache?
Yes, actually.
Absolutely. I have a bandage.
So, Lewis, Roger,
would you like me to write him a prescription for you, Mr. Turnip?
You come out of the forest.
Be good, I think.
Where we left you last week, and you can see the coach and horses. You can also see a group of hooded and cloaked men talking, or rather being talked to, by a slight man, young man, and quite a stocky little halfling.
So I should take out a pen and a piece of paper, and I say, so, Dr. Turnip, where should he apply the leeches? Well,
my philosophy with leeches is that there's never too many, right? But, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, sir, let's decide this now. How much excessive blood would you have? You say yourself you have on a scale of 1 to 10.
Get the crossbow out. One of his mates pulls a crossbow out and aims
he's agitated. I'd say he's a full 8 out of 10. So you'll need, he will need 16 leeches.
16 leeches, and I should go to write it on a piece of paper. And they should be applied where? Clearly around the neck, because his neck is quite chunky. There's a lot of.
That will help with a headache.
Are these your friends? Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Ulrich and Rasa and go. So is this like the dragon? Is this something you'd want to be getting involved in? Otherwise, the inn's
well,
down
Paulus, let's be fair. These are your people on both sides of the equation, other than the halfling. So
I'm pretty sure they're not my people. I mean,
good day to you, sirs.
From
We are
Spire.
just discussing, but these. I'm not sure. Are you tax collectors? Road repairmen? This gentleman is Dr. Turpin's patient at the minute. I was just.
It's a wet and cold night, fellows. You have a good night, yeah, and we'll be leaving you to it, yeah.
There is,
Don't
the
forget
consultation fee, sir.
It's a consultation fee, yeah. And I've begun writing the prescription now as well. And paper does not
That's
come
another
cheap.
brass penny, sir. That's 3 brass pennies.
So there's 3 brass pennies.
Will you be wanting the
owe us
leeches?
right now.
Seems like you owe them a consultation fee.
Racer just shakes his head, turns around, and walks back towards the end. He's like, Ulrich, I don't know if we're going to make 100 years with these people.
So
these buggers certainly won't if they're in between me and the tavern.
Oh no, we're not between you and the tavern. These gentlemen who were in front of us, they have now run into the forest, but they were between us and the tavern, and they appear to have left, which is disappointing. You will excuse us. We know they were trying to rob us. We were just playing them for time.
Ah, why didn't you say so?
Had we had a little longer,
would have been
perhaps,
given us a bit of something to do.
Well, perhaps we could have taken them for everything they have.
I made up contact dermatitis. That's not a real thing.
Oi, manlings! I've got gold. Come and try it. I'll shout into the forest.
Ulrich, you're slowing down our chance for a drink.
You can just hear footsteps running away.
yeah. I'm pretty sure my horse is just going to keep trotting along.
I shall tip my hood
My
to
arm
you.
is falling off. It's like I'm walking unarmed.
So, drinks.
That
yeah,
would be
yeah,
very
sound
kind
of
of you.
drinks.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. What do you think, Turnip? Should we go over these nice gentlemen?
Absolutely. And I do hope the bar exchanges beer for a singular bandage.
Your
Oh,
name is.
don't worry too much about that. I do have a few brass pennies that I just didn't want to give to the burglars.
Wait, did he say
no,
your
I also
name's
do too.
Turnip? Like the vegetable?
Well, hey, I am Turpin Merriweather.
Turpin,
but,
so sorry. I
colloquially-
misheard you
you've
when
been
you
calling me
spoke.
turnip for days. It's my favourite thing. I love turnips.
I thought when we met that your name was Turnip. I'm so terribly sorry. That's terribly embarrassing.
It
That's
is
all
now.
right. Please continue to call me turnip. It's my favourite root vegetable, aside from
Turnip's easy.
potatoes.
Right
Terrible,
you are
isn't
then. Dr. Turnip it is.
Racer
I realise
and
as well you
Paulus-
are not a qualified doctor yet either, so maybe
And I'm
that will
walking
offset it
towards the
some way.
tavern by this point.
Yeah.
Racer and Paulus.
Race for Paulus are pretty
Already
much
in.
there.
We're in the end. Yeah, we're.
Okay,
I
so
suppose we'll need a table for 5 now.
well, you go through the gated wall, through the gates, and you go down an entryway. And at the far end, undercover, you can see a stables and a sort of coach yard. And it's undercover, and you can see a couple of horses there. And there is a stagecoach there as well. So maybe it is your lucky night. And you could maybe have the next 2 days travelling in comfort to Altdorf. The door on your right, you can hear loud laughing. Not from many. There is some music coming from there as well. You can hear the sound of a lute. And what
Oh, it's
can
not that one guy, is it?
Well, a voice that I would like to say is like an angel's, but it is more like sharp nails scraping down a chalkboard. Yeah. And whoever's singing seems to be singing about things that you can buy from a shop: blankets, wooden spoons, swords, armor. But loud music. It does sound a bit iffy, but at the end of the day, it's better than the rain. Nicely lit, lots of noise, and you can feel the warmth coming through the walls.
Well, I think first round's on me, gentlemen, on account of you saved our hides there. What would be numerous.
Do you think you can cover a first round with a bandage?
No,
Oh, you
I
can
was
cover
kidding.
it.
I got 29 brass pennies.
Okay, so you enter the tavern area and you look around. It's well lit. There's a couple of men behind the bar area. One's polishing tankards. The other is busying himself. Quite a slight man, busying himself around. You look around. There's quite a slight guy, about the same sort of build as Stefan. He's sitting on his own, reading a book. There's also a table with 3 ladies at, all looking very well. There's another table with halfling. It looks like they're either brother and sister or husband and wife. And there is a dwarf with deep red hair playing the lute. And behind him is a stall with a few items sort of set out like a shop. And there's a little banner over the top of it saying swords and cords.
Razor looks down at Ulrich. So, this is what counts as music for your people? No wonder you live in holes.
This is, you can tell why he's playing to manlings. We wouldn't have him.
So
Well played.
I can see some similarities in the nose.
So the larger man of the two behind the bar says, my friends, come, sit down, take a seat. Take the weight off your feet. Sit down. Yeah, it looks like you've had a bit of a treacherous way. I'm sure the rain and the coldness and everything. The fire's on. Sit by the fire or, whatever. Make yourselves at home. I'll bring you some drinks over. First round's on me.
Well, that's my round covered then, lads. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, drinking like students it
Sir.
is.
Sir, before you depart, we noticed a coach in the main yard. Is anyone headed to Altdorf anytime soon?
Yeah, so those gentlemen over there in the corner, the booth area, they're the 2 drivers. they're not in the best of state at the moment. In fact, they're quite noisy, especially when Rhett over there stops playing. They do get almost bothersome. But anyway, they're the drivers. You can see them. They do have a few people on their coach at this time, I believe. I believe that group of ladies over there. There's a Bretonian somewhere. I believe he's up in his room.
Right. Thank you very much, sir.
So, Master Turpin, is it? And I do not believe I caught your name, sir.
Stefan. I am Stefan Komish. Yeah. I'm an apprentice studying. Looks down at himself. I'm studying to be a wizard, actually.
One of those.
Profession.
We should have never taught you people magic. But are you both traveling to Altdorf then?
That's the plan, yeah.
What you get for listening to elves.
Sorry for me butting in. I'm just bringing you drinks over and everything, but I just heard that you said that you were travelling to Altdorf.
Hi, sir.
Is that right? Oh, well, let me show you this, because one of the road wardens come in a couple of weeks back, and he gave me this poster. We've got one behind the door and that. Hold on a second. I'm just getting you up now. You'll have to tell me if you can see this, guys.
Yep.
Oh, no, I've given you the wrong one. Where's that the one?
I don't know. I think I just see the GM
Yes,
screen.
no, that was the one.
Wanted, old
Can you see it
adventure.
now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His Excellency, the Crown Prince Hergard von Tassenik of the Grand Principality of Ostland, hereby gives notice that he is currently resident in Altdorf and wishes to engage the services of a party of skilled adventurers. That could be you three. Employment is to begin as soon as possible for an indefinite period. Ooh, an open-ended contract. That's what we like to see. Would-be applicants are forewarned that they should be required to undertake a most perilous mission, sounds exciting, into the unexplored regions of the Grey Mountains. Where are they then?
There aren't any.
Okay, right. So there are no great.
Handlings.
Right. The matter is of utmost
Big
delicacy. Well, I wish they'd make their minds up. Is it delicate or is it dangerous? They need to pick one. It's terribly written, very poor scribing, and absolute discretion is required. Well, that's you and me taken care of then, Dr. Turnip. Sorry, I was taught to read in this slightly different accent to the way I talk. It's odd. Remuneration is negotiable depending on experience, which means they don't know how experienced people are. But a minimum of 8 crowns? 8 crowns? Good God! 8 per person per day? How do you people justify that kind of salary? Anyway, per day is guaranteed in addition to
I suggest you stop reading now, yeah. But yeah, it looks a good job, that does. I mean, I don't wish any recompense for showing you that, but it is quite a nice job. It is the same poster or the same looking poster of what you have, Paulus.
Yeah. Oh, I can see why he didn't.
Don't worry about the dwarf bit. It'll be fine. It's fine. Once we're there, it'll all be,
It shows that they've got
fair
good
complete,
taste,
as the Bretonians would say.
Why would you not take a dwarf into the mountains? That seems really silly.
You're bloody stupid.
I don't believe we caught your name, Master Dwarf. We raced through the elf and the cavalry man here with the conspicuously dry trousers, and yourself, sir. What was your name?
Ulrich Granite Hand.
Ulrich, right. I'm going to write it down on account of my dumb head. And Mr. Cavalryman, your name is?
Paulus Hector von Brospire.
I'm going to call you Paul.
Sir Paul? Us?
Sir Paul, of course.
Are you a sir?
Sure,
well, if it ain't that long, you must be.
Sorry, my
accent has vanished. Is it?
Oh, we have a knight in the building. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. You can have this drink. And he pours you a big mug of ale and this drink as well. Oh, it's a pleasure to be serving a sir. And he puts the...
Cheers. Is there any food about, anyway?
Excellent
cold
question.
Actually, we don't normally do any food. Well, we did, but our chef, he's leaving for busier climbs and that, because
alas.
Our chef Gunter, he's leaving with Sam and Ella over there, who are travelling food people. Yeah, and he points over to the two halflings. He says, "Yeah, they're using his services." Yeah, he's a bit too obsessed with stew that includes fish bones, and potato. Definitely not.
Paulus is just going to pat his poor, unfortunate stomach and look kind of sad.
Have you
a kitchen?
Sam and Ella Goodfellow, they're leaving. We've just bought some pies off them, so we have got roughly about 50 various flavoured pies. Now, I'd be happy I'd be happy to only charge you a penny per pie. Yeah, even though don't tell the others that I'm only charging you that. Yeah.
Pretty sure this is your first round, isn't it, Turpin?
Any a pie it is. That'll do starters, and then I suppose we'll be needing a pie for mains, and of course a sweet pie for dessert. So that's what, 28 pies, I reckon, sir, which is exactly the number of pennies I have.
Okay. Well, I'll knock you a little bit off because you're buying in bulk, so I'll call it 20 pennies if that's okay.
Fantastic. Sir, can I ask a further question?
Yes.
You seem to be losing your chef. I actually was a chef before I was a physician. You need services for the night? Maybe cover bed and board for the lads?
I was going to turn the kitchen into a games room, for cards and skipping and the like. And I believe some barn dancing as well. So we were going to turn it into a bit of a function room more than anything. So, I don't suppose you want to buy any cooking utensils, do you?
How many can you give me for 8 brass pennies, sir?
There could be an old Rhett over there from Swords and Cords. He says he'll buy whatever we're selling. So, I'm going to try and get as much as I can off them because, turning a room into a function room can be quite expensive.
Well, maybe there's some various aspects of business that we can do for one another. You say you want to turn the kitchen into a games room. Would you be interested in maybe having some kind of post or poster signage to suggest that? Possibly an idea for a buy-in to card games, things like that. I've got some basic scribing skills. I could jot down a few bits.
Fantastic, yeah.
Also, sir, I don't mean to concern you, but you appear to have contact dermatitis, and we're potentially needing a consultation. I'll talk to you later in the night. Don't worry about it, sir. I'll chat to you. I'll just pat my jar leeches.
Before I forget, do you mind if I go and get the attendance book? I'd like to bring it over, and you can, sign your names in there and put down what you do, and
That's very classy. You have an attendance book. That's a good choice.
It's a fashionable thing. Apparently, all the best coaching-ins are doing that at the moment. So I'll go and get the book. I'll bring it over, and you can sign it. Put what you do. Where you plan on going, and your skills. Because we're out in the middle of nowhere. We can be attacked by bandits at any time, and if I have to wake you up or something, I'm going to need to know who to go to. If we're in trouble.
That seems like a fair idea. I was just going to say, though, if you happen to have any sort of trinkets or things that you associate with this place, I could perhaps take them along to the next Sirs meeting and introduce your tavern and function room. I mean, there could be other Sirs. Definitely.
Function room. That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
I believe, that sounds good to me.
The Sirs the other Sirs will love that.
I'd pay 3 pennies for a pie in a function room.
I'm really sorry. I've been bothering you at the moment. I forgot to bring all the. Leave it with me a minute. Just I'll be back in two moments. And he disappears behind the bar, and him and the other guy come back over with a small barrel and a couple of bottles that have been wrapped in rope, and he puts them down, and he sort of slides them without looking over to where the elf is, Yeah, I think you'll be liking those, sir. And this is some nice ale.
I appreciate the consideration, good sir.
Indeed.
I'll definitely be mentioning this place at the Sirs meeting.
Stefan leans in the direction of the wine bottles.
And you see Racer's hand smack out. He's like, ask first.
Absolutely. It's just been a while and so much ale. I haven't had a good glass of wine in, well, about 3 weeks.
Racer looks down at the bottle and he's like, well, you may not have another one, but this vintage shall serve well enough.
Indeed. Anyway, I have jobs to do. I need to go and pay the good fellows for the pies, and I'll bring you some over. I believe that they've got a special on toad pies at the moment. Yeah, and we've got some oxen pies, and we've got some fowl pies as well. Yeah, and I believe there's some rhubarb as well, pies.
Well, that seems breakfast, lunch, and dinner, gents. Right. That's all sorted for someone. Well, I seem to have expended most of my coins. Someone better go talk to those coachmen on account of I've covered provisions for the next few days.
Racer looks over at Ulrich and nods over at the booth. And he's walking over there. He's very quietly says to him, I'm not exactly sure what we've gotten ourselves into with all of these humans, but it seems like we may be stuck with this with a lot of them.
Half the time, I'm not sure what the buggers are saying.
At least the halflings are cook.
Well, hopefully.
So
at least be
Paulus,
some use.
If it's not
yes.
too forward of me to inquire, I've been charged by my master to go out into the world and bring back the truth of magic. I know, as a part of my training and skills.
You'll be wanting to hear about the forest dragon. I
my
smote
word.
its ruin.
Absolutely. What I was wondering is perhaps we could come to some kind of accord. I'm capable of writing. I have my own writing equipment with me, and I would be more than happy to serve as a scribe, perhaps jot down the tale of your journey, adventure. Forest dragon is an excellent start.
I mean, it could definitely use some chronicling.
Exactly. Now, well, as you saw outside, Dr. Turnip and I, we're men of education. We're not exactly up there in the physical defense department, whereas it seems you are exorbitantly superannuated in the combat department, and perhaps having someone along who could maybe provide support, assistance, backup. Dr. Turnip has just acquired 28 pies.
And
secret, son, always buy in bulk.
Never mind the buying in bulk. I think we're probably getting them for nothing, because at the minute he's knocking his price down every time we talk to him. He's also very taken with the idea that you're a sir, and the idea that we can do writing and things for him. So I think between the three of us, that perhaps we have some kind of economy of scale advantage where we can perhaps use our skills to support and reinforce your skills. And Dr. Turnip is also a doctor. So obviously in your line of work, there is occasional risk. So maybe having a chronicler and a physician on hand, if you take my meaning.
Makes good sense, sir.
Well,
also, to be honest, I
do
really
like
need to get to Altdorf to pick up my license, and so does Dr. Turnip. And as a result, we'd be ever so grateful if you would take us along, and we're happy to work our passage, aren't we, T?
It sounds like a splendid idea. You can stick by me and my two bodyguards. We'll travel together.
You'll just hear a loud snort as he says that.
Yeah, they're a little gruff at times, but you'll get used to them. They come in handy
I'm sure they'll loosen
when
up
heavy
once you get a
things
few
need
drinks
lifting
in
and
them.
elf things. I don't know what elf things are, but we'll find out.
Racer's just shaking his head as he approaches the booth where the two coach drivers are seated.
Hello there, what can we do for you? Hey. It's one of them foul things. Oh. Yeah. What can we do for you, sir?
We are interested in booking passage to Altdorf on your coach.
Really?
Indeed.
Well, we've got no seats, but you're very welcome to ride on the roof.
I'd happily do it in
Only
exchange for
cost.
guarding your coach.
How many is there of you? It'll be 2 shillings each.
There would be 4 on the coach. One of our party has his own horse, and he would be following along.
Okay, well, yeah. So it'll be 2 shillings each, and it'll be no shillings each for the one on the horse.
How about we guard your coach? There's a lot of muggers out on that road, and you could probably use a bit of muscle.
What?
How about we guard your coach, and you let us ride on it for free? No one will mess with.
He's not called Gunner because he's good looking. He's called Gunner because he's a dead eye.
Just because he's got a dead eye don't mean nothing. Having a plate armored dwarf sat on top usually deters people. I were itching for a scrap, and these 8 or 9 manlings just buggered off into the forest.
Old short and beard here reckons he can climb on top of the coach with all the armour on. Yeah, no chance. I'll tell you what, if you can climb on top of the coach, you can travel for nothing, my friend.
Well, then I'm sure he'll make it. Ulrich is stubborn, if nothing else. So then I see we're down to 6 shillings for those of us. But you said there was no room inside the coach. Who has the seats inside the coach?
The ladies' party over there and some foreign chap.
Ah, fair enough. Paulus, 6 shillings, please.
Don't you ever carry money?
No, you don't want it. Look, Dr. Turnip's a halfling, right? So he's only half as size. So maybe he should charge half as much. Huh?
Absolutely, sir.
So that's down to 5.
Sounds like
shillings.
sound logic to me.
5 shillings straight away.
And I can't help but notice, Rasser, one of those coachmen has contact dermatitis. You might want to have that looked at.
I will tell you now,
they are outrageously pissed.
You Reichlanders cheat one another as if it's your favorite hobby. If you wish to negotiate a better price, feel free. I won't sully myself with such an endeavor.
Well, but you'll enjoy the outcome, won't you? If we get it cheaper, you'll be happy too, huh? You elves, you're above us all on account of being tall.
I think
this is your first test.
I think the Falcon's got his britches round his ankles. Yeah. We meant no offence, Mr. Falf.
Oh, I took no offence from you, Mr. Drunkard.
Gentlemen, might I inquire as to what's your favourite breakfast? On the road, I mean, like the one thing you'll enjoy on the road for breakfast.
You talking to me?
Oh, of course, sir. I hardly talk to the elf. They don't eat breakfast. They eat grass.
Really strong ale.
Right. Really strong ale for breakfast. And what goes better with really strong ale than a lukewarm pie?
A lukewarm pie.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's only warm because I've been sitting on it. But I can make you something better than that in the morning. In fact, I can whip you up something shocking good every stop of the way to Altdorf. You'll be eating like kings. The nobility inside will be eating their dry biscuits on account of the weevils, and you will be eating like kings, lads.
He could do this thing with scrambled egg and wild garlic, right? And you wouldn't believe it. from the roadside, he can scrabble together a bunch of things that look like weeds, and then I've seen him climb a tree and pluck
Not
the
interested in
birds'
food.
eggs.
Yeah, food, coach journeys in that alehead. Yeah, don't mix. We don't want no food. Yeah.
Understood. How
All
many
we're
of your
asking,
horses do you
all we're
actually
asking
need?
for is how many did we say? 8
3 shillings.
No, it was 2 shillings, sir. On account of I'm a half. He's smart. He's skinny. He's a knight, and he's got his own horse, and he's also a half. So it's only 2.
Listen. Make me a haggle roll, please.
Please.
First roll of the game.
Okay, here we go. That's a failure. That's a straight up failure.
Can I support him with his haggling as a
Yeah.
bit of a double act?
Yes, okay, yeah. So re-roll that again.
Okay.
At I forgot what they are now. The one above challenging average, is it?
Average plus 20.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a plus 3
Hey.
success.
Okay, we'll knock a shilling off. 5 shillings.
Right. Will you be wanting change, sir?
What?
Will you be wanting change?
We're not paying you.
No, on account of you owe me 4 shillings now, sir.
What?
Yeah. on the the dog.
He's not wrong. You see, he's got the. Let me, and I'll pour a little bit of beer on the table. Bear with me, and I'll just start.
What you doing with that there? That is.
No,
golden
I'm showing
beer,
you.
but you've just wasted it on the table.
You
Oh,
can have
don't worry.
mine.
Have a
You
mug.
can have mine.
We
You can have
we
mine.
have a whole
It's all good.
tankard.
You can have all of mine.
Tankard.
Here, in fact,
Oh,
here is mine.
I've drunk
Have
too
it.
much.
Enjoy. And it's better. It's better than your one. Because anyway, and I'll start drawing some little numbers out on the table. And so he says, you said 5 shillings, yeah? But then the doctor, and I'll work out a whole convoluted thing with drawings of numbers in beer on the table that quite categorically shows him that we only owe him a shilling.
Right.
It's a good thing he's bad at maths, sir, because I had worked out that he owed us 3.
Look, if you want journeying on our coach.
Well, I don't. I have a horse.
We're not going to move on that. It's up to you. Take it or leave it. Yeah.
All right, you
Shillings,
drive a
sir.
hard bargain. You're a tough man, but I can see how you've become such a canny businessman over time. I think that's the best deal we're going to get, and I think we'll go with that. Thank you, good sir, and enjoy my ale.
His friend. Enough. Anyway, leave us to it if you don't mind. Now we've got serious drinking to do. Yeah.
Sir,
Right, then,
understood. Thank you very much.
Will you be leaving in the morning then?
First thing. Sun up. We'll be there.
That's
Awesome.
a fairly late start, but that's reasonable.
Oh, Racer,
What?
you have
You
a lot to
don't
learn,
travel
son.
these parts in the darkness. You travel when the sun's out. Yeah, so sun up,
With,
travel down the road.
and Racer looks down at Ulrich. With our eyes, it really never is that dark.
This man
Wow.
gone on.
Man,
He's
like
gone
Zana's good.
Middenheim to Altdorf in 4.5 hours before. 4.5 hours.
That's some horse, sir. That is some horse.
Yeah.
Racer just looks at him. He's like, enjoy your drink.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Phelps.
I have no idea how this empire has survived so long.
Got
Oh,
the Dowie to back them up. I will say back.
I mean,
That's a fair
clearly
point.
We get,
That is a
we
fair
get
point.
things done.
Yeah, the speed of the talking thing does a lot of the work for us. Frankly, it's hard work keeping up with what they expect from the learned quite often.
I can
The pay
see.
is terrible being a student is just such a hard job sometimes. You get nothing. I mean, I
Well-
know I'm better off and I live a higher lifestyle than the rat catchers in the gutters, but I don't get paid much better. And so
Well,
we've
you're
got to
still
do
a
what we've got to
student.
do.
You can't not be a student with your lifespan, surely.
But
Well, you're not wrong, are you? I mean, some of us, we only get into this whole magic malarkey so that we can get even close to your kinds of lifespans. Anyway, Master
Spits on the floor when he says that.
Racer. Racer?
Racer.
And I shall say in the
Malforak.
worst Elvish you have ever heard, me thanking Big. Should we open that wine?
So, Stefan, you feel a little bit of pulling on the back of your clothing. And you look behind you, and there's quite a slight girl come lady behind you. Excuse me, sirs. My mistress is asking if you could keep your voices down. Yeah, she's got rather large headache, and you're disturbing her. And
Oh, my friend's a
Want to
doctor.
see our physician?
If she's suffering, I'm sure he could help. He's got a bandage and everything.
no, the lady won't see any physicians who smell as bad as you people. It's not
No.
mine. Thank
The
you.
lady is
If
a
you could.
wonderful woman of taste and
I'll-
discretion. And
I'll
what a
look
woman
over at the
for a
dwarf
hot
and
bath.
go.
Yeah, I mean, I could wash up. If she'd be, inclined to ask for such a thing.
No, not at all. If you could just keep your voices down. That would
I'm
be
sure we could stop talking. That's absolutely no problem. I love stopping talking. In fact, sometimes I stop talking for days on end.
Minutes.
What was
And she turns and goes back to the table. And as she sits down, the well-dressed lady, she sort of looks over and she gives you a bit of a stark stare, bit of a
Racer
Raise
returns
my
the
mug
stare
at her.
with an equally stark stare, thinking, I don't understand these humans at all.
you think that's bad? She's got contact dermatitis. I can stop. I can't keep doing it. I can
Has
stop.
that ever worked?
That's the only thing that stopped us getting horribly murdered by those bandits before you came along.
Racer will walk over, pour 2 glasses of wine, hand one to Stefan. Say, to your health, human, for as long as you might live, or a blink of an eye, much the same.
If you want to leave messages for your great grandchildren, I mean, they're so far. I think I've given them 10 notes.
That is true. We have committed to
They're
seeing
stand-up
his
fellows.
children and grandchildren at least understand who their grandfather was. That is, of course, if he lives long enough to do anything of note, which he has not yet done.
I don't think I have any children. I hope not. I mean, but obviously there's a chance.
Give it time. Well, as much time as you have. To your health, regardless.
So I think the only thing left to sort out this evening is some sort of bedding arrangement. No, I don't know about you lads, but I ain't above sleeping in the stables. I'll say that for nothing.
I believe
I've
that.
I've put the attendance book on your table. If I only want a little bit from each of you, but like what you good at, where you traveling, and what you're doing. Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks, sir.
I'll
Do
write
you have
it
a
in
pen
Casalid.
and some ink?
Well, yeah, we've got a quill, I think. And I'll go and get it. He brings this big pot of ink over, and he brings this little quill. Yeah, careful you don't spill it. I bought it in bulk. Yeah, so
It's the way to win. It's the way to win, sir.
Well, the first thing I'll do then is top up my inkwell from his.
how are you finding the toad pies?
So delicious.
Chewy.
How do you get the crust so damp yet so bendy? Like it should melt in your mouth, but it really just strings out. It's like
You'll have to ask Sam and Ella while they're still here, because they're geniuses with pastry.
And
Right.
vanilla pie. It's the way of the future, clearly.
This is not food. I do. This is
I'm not
food.
drunk enough for toad pie. I will admit, I'm a student. I will eat the most gratuitously awful things. I've eaten things in bread that probably do not match the descriptions of what they're supposed to be. I'm sure I've eaten a collection of organs wrapped in another collection of organs inside some stale bread before, but usually only after several bottles of wine. Right, so what should we say then?
Paulus is
Racer,
a knight, right?
Yes, we should begin with Sir Paulus the...
Sir Paulus Hector von Bruce-Beyer, famed cavalier of Nome. That should suffice. Just underline the sir a few times.
Oh,
What's that thing with the line and the dot?
already done, sir.
Lots of those.
Lines, dots. Look, I'll even put one of the 3 little dots things. Those are very popular.
Racer, what do you call what you people do?
what I do?
He
Well-
mostly carries stuff for us.
We would call it camping, but apparently that's the thing that you guys make a big deal out of, right?
Camping?
I think
What,
he
like-
means you live in
You know,
trees.
like in the forest.
I am of the
I mean,
I am of the Torior class. We live in a city much like yours, though it is far more elegant and beautiful, and it is complemented by the nature which surrounds it.
So slow down. Do you want me to say that you're elegant
think-
and beautiful?
No, I
Oh.
don't want you to say anything about me. I can read
Ooh,
and write
ooh.
myself.
Well, I'm just doing my job.
Stefan, don't forget to add my moustache.
what so how do you put you down,
Mustachioed
Elf?
warrior
Describe
of legend.
my moustache, Stefan. Describe it.
The stuff
It needs to be
sweater.
kept for posterity.
Master Dwarf, what should I write for you?
Nothing. I'll do it myself.
Oh, I just try to do my job.
You're his scribe, if that's what he's agreed to. I do not need anyone to recall my life.
But he does like camping. Maybe add that.
If he wants to write it for himself, I'm not going to interfere with that. He gave me a really nice glass of wine. One of
I
the finest
appreciate
I've
that.
ever had.
Stefan,
And-
could you please record Doctor Extraordinaire?
Extra. Ooh.
Dr.
That sounds
Turnip.
good, eh?
And I'm putting 3 dots above the E.
Ooh, fantastic.
But
Like they
do
do on
you
the
put in
continent.
do you put in turnip or do you put in turpin?
Turnip.
I think I'm putting turnip, but I will put Merryweather. And then for me, I'm just going to like very subtly just put Stefan Komish, apprentice.
Okay.
Yeah, I might come back one day and like rewrite it in. Like, Wizard Lord Extraordinaire. But for
No,
now,
I
it's just
was-
the same thing.
I was at a tavern recently, and like they let us keep the pens, well, the scribe stick thing, as a gift, as you know. They had a bunch of them.
All of you humans are thieves.
The ones where
It's not
they
thieving if
etch
he
the
wants it
name of
more.
the establishment along the shaft
Yeah,
of the quill.
along the quill. Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe we should keep this one. You clearly need one.
Oh, no,
I don't know
thought
how
that-
elven ownership works, but in human and halfling society, if I want it more, then they shouldn't have left it somewhere that I could have it.
Yes,
That's how it works.
That's what we define as thievery. And yes, I
Bizarre.
Sounds like-
And you have a
sounds
whole
like theft
society
to me.
based upon that.
indeed we do.
Oh,
You must tell me more about this city. Is it like a series of tents or a series of trees? I must know, sir.
It is
Can you
a
can
city
you
built
sketch it
of
for me?
I can indeed. It
Oh,
is a
I'd
city
love to
built
see.
of stone and glass, bone and magic.
I think they put the tents up inside that.
Sir, I
Oh,
really don't
Paulus,
Look at
Paulus,
the
you
bones.
you tire me so, Paulus. But perhaps your children will be more amenable.
Yeah, so I
And
really
then-
must
and then-
get to work on that at some point. Not today.
Racer takes.
Comes back over. Have you finished, gentlemen?
No, Racer takes the quill and writes in Elvish, Racer of Halths, Malforic, Duelist, and Quester.
You are
write
off a
like
neat
that,
writer,
Stefan.
sir.
Alric takes out a
Okay.
chisel and a hammer.
We use ink just like everyone else. And I'll write it again in Kazalid, so it's in the dwarf runes. And just write Ulrich Granite Hand, Karak Ziflin, and just leave it at that.
Well, I wish you a good. Well, I'll be here to serve you all night anyway. Feel free. We'll call the rooms 2 pennies each. Is that okay? I can do you 3 rooms, or you can sleep in the common room.
I think 3 rooms would suffice. The humans and the halfling can have one, and the dwarf and I will each have one.
I'll just groan when he says that.
It's on account of their smell.
Yeah, quite sizable rooms, but they do only have 2 beds in, so the little one will probably have to sleep on the floor. But we can provide more blankets.
Is there a cupboard?
Unless-
It's probably
unless
fit
you're
in a
top to toe.
cupboard.
He and the Wizard's Apprentice seem quite close. Perhaps they can share a bunk. I don't know and nor care, but they all talk far too much.
Whoa, we're not that close.
Well, this wasn't what you were saying, but he was spooning me last night on account of body heat.
That was body heat.
Right, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, you're all little and cuddly.
3 rooms, sir, sounds perfect. And what's that? 2 pennies
Anyway,
room, 6 pennies?
you-
We'll do that.
I've brought some more jugs of ale over for you and another bottle of the mead. But yeah, feel free, and you can settle up for your rooms in the morning. Okay, so
Sounds
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, what's
Right.
the word of the road? Anything going on around here?
Well,
We met some dodgy types on the way in.
there is a lot of bandit activity at the moment on the road to Outdorf. That poster, it's gleaned a lot of interest, and there's a lot of people travelling up there. So, the bandits have seen an opportunity, and they're coming here, and they're waiting in ambush sites and things like that. But so yeah, there is a little bit of bother on the road. I won't lie to you, but it's not half as bad as what I've heard from up in Outdorf. Oh, yeah.
What's going
Those
up there?
wizards are wizards, yeah. Depraved gatherings, yeah. Depraved gatherings and special hugs and things, yeah. In meetings and books about it and everything. And they're apparently bringing creatures through holes in the air.
Gaven.
No.
bloody wizards.
The holes are in space and time, not in the air.
Well, yeah, it'd have to be space for there to be a hole there. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, they're bringing things through. And
Only
they're
thing
having,
worse than wizards is elves. No offense.
they're having out of control parties.
None taken.
Yeah,
None
gathering.
taken, my friend.
Yeah, it's all getting rather wrong. Yeah, apparently, and yeah, there's a lot of trouble up there.
That in no way surprises me. Your human wizards frequently fall to the ruinous powers.
They're a dangerous bunch. It's
That's
true.
true, yeah.
Well,
And he's looking right at Stefan. He's like,
I don't think they're actually human. That's what I've heard. I've heard that they're a species on their own.
Stefan, what was your friend's name? The
Gaven.
guy you was telling me about on the way in. The one that turned into a worm.
Oh, Twitchy Klein.
Twitchy Klein, that's the guy. Turned into a worm, sir. Turned into a big worm.
That's what I mean. Yeah. You've heard of men who turn into turnips and men who turn into rabbits and rabbits who turn into dogs. But yeah,
I mean, he got better.
yeah. Well, humans turn into worms. That's a whole bunch of wrong. Totally.
yes,
And to
yes,
be
it
fair,
is.
I don't know how much it was him turning into a worm and how much it was him poking bits of himself through a hole in a sheet. So
Okay. But anyway,
Racer just shakes his head and walks away. He's like, he is done with the conversation.
Is this what
Moves
passes
himself.
for crude manling humour?
he picks the book up and he goes behind the counter and he puts the book back on the counter.
Racer will
At that
move.
point, 2 people walk down the stairs, there's a man who's dressed very wealthily. He's got a bit of, he seems to have confidence in the way he walks. He's got quite a large hat on, a nice purple feather stuck into the middle of it. His clothes all seem to be bloomed out. Nothing fits him properly, as in tight against his skin. Everything's baggy and bulgy. And he has this rather nice dragon's head codpiece on.
Well, that is very, very Estalian. That's how they're wearing it this year.
And he goes and sits down at a table.
Estalian.
And he's followed by a man who has got the most outrageous comb over you've ever seen. He's got white hair. It's literally, it hangs down at the side, but he keeps brushing it over the top. He's quite an ugly looking gentleman. He's got a scar down the right hand side of his face, going straight across where his eye was. He's got no patch on it, and he is walking with quite a large pig on a lead.
Well, you have to keep it on a lead because otherwise it'd run away.
That's why you should be
Right.
cooking,
Right.
Dr. Turnip.
Well, I mean, we can make back bacon. We can make the things we make
The
chops.
slight bloke, Hespin, he goes
Sausage.
and takes them over a drink at their table. And they sort of nod to him, and the man with the comb over just nexes, and he points over at the bar again, and Hespin, the slight guy, goes over, gets another drink and brings it straight across to him again.
Racer would go to. Are there any other open tables?
Yeah, there's one in the middle of the room, like a little round table with 4 seats pushed into it. And there's also a couple of spare seats that are rather comfortable seats near the fire that's roaring at the moment.
Actually, that is where he would go with the bottle of wine and sit by the fire.
Riveting conversationalist. It's
So that's-
fine. He'll be fine.
Might I accompany and you actually you tell me of this city? I do like elves.
I will be happy to tell you. It is a most beautiful city. Deep in the Lorelorn forests, it is the capital of my people, the Eoneer.
Right. So I imagine I just completely enamored with these vistas he's painting. And how do they hang the windows, sir? Have you got a window person? Like that kind of.
Oh yes, we actually the mage rites of our city do much of the crafting, calling forth the stone and the glass, almost growing the city.
Sounds
You
like
look
magic,
at that,
sir.
he only took one of the bottles of wine with him.
You hear the main door
They
of
can't handle it.
the tavern open as it creaks open, and there's a gentleman who comes in with what looks like a staff that he's using as a walking stick, and he has quite an impressive but battered pointy hat on, but he's got robes on, and he's got a scarf. Or, he's obviously been affected by the cold, and he sort of slowly walks over to the bar. And he stands at the
Seems to
bar, and
be
he's still
taking
making
a
that
long
noise.
time to get there.
Well, he's got to milk it. See, he's
Oh,
because he's on his own. He doesn't have the sort of interplay thing, so he's got to go for the poor me angle.
He's met at the bar by Gustav, who appears to be talking to him in whispers, and
It's a bit much.
Gustav writes something down on a piece of paper, and he passes it him. And the man turns back round, and he nods at Gustav. He nods over at you guys. And he walks slowly out of the tavern, constantly making this groaning noise.
sounds painful, whatever it is. Shame the physician's not here to take a look at it.
Sir, tell me more of the tiling. The tiling, how's it done?
What's what was on the piece of paper?
He put it in his thing and he's walked out.
As he left the bar.
Yeah, Gustav puts the attendance book in and starts polishing some more cups and things.
So, my friend, Master Turpin, what truly brings you on the road to Altdorf?
Or I tell you what, the court I worked at down in the Moot, it was well, I was press gang in the service as a physician. I'm not a very good physician, sir. I don't know if you know this, but contact dermatitis isn't a real thing. I made it up. I've been making the whole thing up, sir. I was only training with a real physician for, I'd say, all told, about 4.5 days. And then she took ill. And she died of what I would like to describe as mysterious festering injury. I did everything right, sir. I didn't clean my hands on account of I didn't want the ghosts under the fingernails, as you know, sir. The good humours and all that. I drained her of the good bile, the bad bile, the black bile, the brown bile, and then I let the maggots eat away at the infection. Only our court master said he didn't want flies around the place, so I just sewed it closed, thinking, flies won't come out, right? Anyway,
so
all told, she died 3 or 4 days later.
Yes,
of fever. Yeah,
you murdered your master. I understand. Now, was it on
no,
purpose,
absolutely not,
though?
sir. I did everything to stop that. It was actually the man what stabbed her, what probably murdered her. He just did it 4 days late.
So you had an accomplice. I understand.
I don't know the meaning of the word, sir. So I go to Altdorf to seek the answers to how to do that again. Only she doesn't die, sweating and screaming, shouting, "Turpin, I will kill you in the next life."
Yes, I think that's probably for the best that you spend a great deal of time in study.
That's my thinking exactly, sir. We are so in tune. I feel like an elf, dare I say it now, having spoken to you for 25 minutes at this point.
Yes, well, I can see where you might think that. Please understand that I will never think of you that way. But
on account of you think you're a halfling, I understand fully. Thank you, sir.
You are exhausting and yet still very entertaining.
People keep telling me that. And it has stopped me a few stabbings. Hey, what do you think that old man's problem was? The guy going...
I cannot say, but I'm fairly certain that he would not be happy for your services.
Right. Okay, I understand. On account of he can't afford them because I'm that good. Yeah. You're very kind, Rasa. You're very kind.
I do my best to be honest.
Yeah. It must be tough when people don't listen to that honesty. That must be hard.
I've found that the more I spend in the Empire, the more I get used to people not really understanding anything at all. So it's all right.
Right, on account of the Empire being very smart, and everyone here is very smart, and you're talking in crazy Elvish. I understand, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for counting me in that circle of people who understand. What do you think the others are talking about?
I could not even hazard a guess, but I'm sure it's less convoluted than what we are discussing.
Intellect is difficult.
The posh-looking gentleman who sat down with the comb-over chap, he stands up and he walks slowly over to where the majority of you are sitting. And he puts one foot forward and bows really low. And he holds that for about 20 seconds. And then he comes back up. My friends, I am Master Descartes. Do you like to gamble? A game a little?
I've been known to play a bit. I just don't have much cash on me, unfortunately. I mean, I suppose we could do a friendly, fun little game.
Oh, but friendly and fun is not so fun. I am talking a game of skill, not chance. Normally I play the cards, but I have a friend over there, and he points over towards the old sly-looking bloke with the white comb over. He suggests that he can beat anyone in this room in a wrestle of the arm.
Well, he could
Rick.
certainly beat me. He would absolutely hammer the ever-loving nonsense out of me. Not how I fall. The cards, I could have been interested, but not in an arm wrestle, no.
One should imagine that a dwarf might be good at such things.
Yeah, but whether I'd debase myself to do it with a manling's another matter.
So you're going to let the manling assume he could beat you, hey? I wish I
That's
hadn't
a lot
used
of
that
things.
word.
That's the trouble with that race.
You are confident with your arm?
He
Confident
seems
with
very
my
confident. How
Yes,
confident's your guy?
I believe my friend over there, Master Tavern Crawler, yes, he suggests that he can beat any of you.
Don't give it two pisses what that bastard thinks.
There are ladies.
He's right. When it
And
comes to me, he is spot on.
I mean,
Ladies.
Ulrich, this is very much that
Mention the
fight
P
you were
word.
looking for, just
The wee word
a little less
in front of
violent.
ladies.
Well, you do the talking, but we don't have any interest in that kind of thing.
Well, you obviously have to go for a wee-wee, but you shouldn't use the rude wee-wee word in front of the ladies.
I think we're having two different conversations now.
Well, the dwarf mentioned piss, and he also used fatherless name, bastard. Yes?
Oh, yeah, but
He's like
Of
that.
the ladies.
But bastard among the nobility there's a whole extra word for it. It's not really that surprising. It's quite popular, in fact. Do you not know about Fitzes?
I do not know much about your
See, the
empire
surname
ways.
Fitz
We are much more.
actually means bastard of. So
no,
it's like a family name among the nobility.
we are much more educated where I am from. Yes.
Estalia?
No, I am from Bretonia.
In which case I shall switch into Bretonian and say, I'm so sorry, it is a beautiful language. How could I have misunderstood? I should have recognized the tone of your voice immediately, my friend.
Why do you think I have this outrageous accent?
He bows towards you. If you could have a word with your dwarven friend to keep the tone of the language down, please.
You're not familiar with dwarvish culture, are you, my friend? Among them, they are direct. They speak their minds. They like to speak of piss and shit and vomit and all kinds of disgusting bodily functions.
But anyway, who amongst you would like to take on my friend at an arm wrestle?
Sir Paulus, he really wants someone to arm wrestle his friend. I mean, suspiciously really wants. There's clearly something to it. There's a trick here. There's some kind of con.
Shall we arm wrestle you? I mean, are you up for an arm wrestle? Because clearly Ulrich doesn't feel like it, so it feels unfair to involve your friend if the challenger's not going to be up to much.
Why don't you?
What about yourself? There was this forest dragon, and there was fire, and it's a whole story. I'm going to give you it for the Chronicles.
Of course, you're injured.
I pulled my arm. In any event, shoulders all loose in the socket. Things feel all rattly inside. Not much of an arm wrestler today.
Maybe we could play a card game instead.
You wish to play cards?
I don't have much of a stake, but sure. If you'd like to play something, I don't want to leave you hanging.
I never draw my friends out unless it is for nothing less than 5 shillings.
Oh, 5 shillings, is it? Well, that's a bit rich for my pocket, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry, I should be speaking to him in Britannia. What am I doing? Sorry, it's so rude of me.
You seem to have that trait, forgetful language.
I know, it's terrible.
I have the
Plus de
trait,
terrible.
everything sounds Welsh.
Don't bother.
Razor will walk over after having heard this with his very fine hearing, and he'll put his hand on Ulrich's shoulder and say, so not only did they suss you out as being crude, like your people are, but also as being afraid to arm wrestle a human. That's got to be tough.
Yes.
I'm sure.
I'm so glad you're with us, Racer. What'd you say, Ulrich? You don't want the elf thinking you're craven.
Nothing to do with that. I'm not lowering myself to play with manlings.
Mm. He does look a bit stronger.
Look at his
Ulrich.
work.
I guess that is fair.
The chap with the cam over stands up from the table, and he does start doing some stretches. And every time he has a chance, he sort of turns round and he seems to be bending his arms and like staring you all down at some point.
Oh,
Yeah, but
sir,
his
you
arms
don't
are
want to
very-
do that. You'll pull your
There's
hamstring
no
along.
muscle there or anything. He just seems very slight.
I'll still say he looks very strong, Ulrich. I mean, you're probably best not trying it.
Why don't you give it a go? You can make up for pissing yourself in that cave.
Pull my arm.
Well, Paulus, he does make a very good point there. I mean, that was fairly humiliating for a sir.
Go on.
Did
And if you win,
see
then
me
you've
pull my
won.
arm?
and if you don't win, then maybe Ulrich will have a bit of a taste for it and might go for it afterwards. I mean, maybe all three of you should have a go, just one after the other.
Put your arm
Obviously,
doing
me and
what? You
Dr.
weren't in
Turnip
that
would do
cave
it,
with the
but-
contest.
I still
I'll do
have
it,
to
no bother.
apologise
I will
for
win.
our behaviour with the ladies. I'll
Gentleman
be right
wanders
back.
over towards your table with a tankard, and he sits down, crosses one leg over the other, and leans back in his chair, and he's drinking from his tankard. He's left his pig over at the other table.
I'm going to walk over to the table with the ladies on it.
That's a free pig.
That's a free pig.
So,
All right.
which ones of you think they can best the tavern crawler?
Tavern
That sounds
crawler.
like some sort of spider, sir. I don't know if that's the name you want to go by. Honestly, you
Is
could
it
do
tavern
better.
crawler because you crawl out of the tavern because you get really
Exactly.
drunk, or
What
do you
I was
just
thinking.
go from one tavern to the next, and that's what you mean by tavern crawler, like you're an implacable?
That's it. Yeah,
Implacable.
got it in one.
Right. Okay. So it's not that you're crawling out of a tavern because you're pished.
See, because I thought it was the
Sometimes
former,
that
sir.
happens as well.
It sounds
I
like
thought
it's
it was
the former.
Hearing it, tavern crawler. I've only ever crawled out of tavern on account of being drunk, not because I've been victorious. You don't think victory crawling, do you?
Do you mind, Mr. Crawler, if my doctor friend here takes a look at your arms?
He's
On
not
account
coming
of-
near. No. These are shilling and gold piece. Yeah,
Right. And I suppose
they are trained weapons.
that
Trained
means the
weapons.
brass is between his legs, gentlemen.
Well, they do say if you've got it, spend it.
I am this-handed, so this is gold piece. Yeah,
Right, understood.
my off-handed, is shilling.
Right. But
Right.
you don't know your right from your left.
I know my shilling from my gold piece.
Good to know.
Right. I do amateur tattooing, sir, if that's any good. We
Well,
could put a little G for the gold on one of them.
I don't need to.
Right. Right. On account of you just attuned
Now,
to your
which
body
one
like
of
that.
which one of your band of odd fellows is the strongest?
Oh, it's the
Well,
dwarf.
It's
far and
dwarf,
away.
10 out of 10. Yeah,
But he won't
100%.
fight you.
I don't know.
Okay, we said you smell like piss and raisins.
And he looks over at
How
the
strong is Ulrich?
Not very.
If I was to say on a percentage scale, I would
Uh.
probably rate him a solid 36.
He
Is,
thinks a little
Racer
bit more out
is
of his
a-
tankard, and then he
Racer's
puts
a
the
solid
tankard on
35.
the table, and then he shoves the tankard over in your direction, and the little remnants of what's left in the tankard just sort of spills out over the table and runs towards the edge and drips off to where you're sitting. Yeah.
See, that's not going to make him want to arm wrestle. It's going to make him want to punch you in the face. And I noticed you didn't put a coin value on your face.
I say that's about 5 shillings.
2 shillings says I can beat any of you. Now,
Well,
I've got
2
a wife.
shillings says you could beat me easily.
I've got a wife who has very expensive tastes. Yeah. And she's desperate for expensive things. Yeah. So now, which one of you is going to pay for her expensive tastes tonight? Yeah. Because she's a very, very expensive lady.
Well, sir, I
Not
cost 4
interested
gold
in a
pieces for the
hooker.
night. That's all I'm saying.
Is she home alone at the minute then?
No, she's sitting over at my table.
Right.
Is that
Oh, the pig.
And sir, when you say
No,
expensive
it's
taste, is it
truffle.
indiscriminate? Is
Hold
it
on.
like she just takes anything that costs a lot of money?
Please don't call my good wife Truffles. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I love it.
Oh, wait.
Now, which one of you thinks that you can wrestle the tavern crawler?
this is a very odd and confusing situation, and I've been in student bars.
Sir, I would dare to say that none of us will be arm wrestling you for
Not
2
looking good.
shillings.
I mean, I'll arm wrestle your wife.
Don't be silly. She's not got fingers.
He's got
She'll
you
beat me,
there.
to be fair.
Oh, I just got that. I just got who your wife is. I've been looking across the table thinking I maybe have a cat rack or something.
No,
and now I've
ixnay
just
on the
seen-
ig pay. Ixnay on the ig pay.
Oh, okay, right. Understood. Oh,
I'm
wow.
I'm
Sir,
in no
you are
way-
fool.
I'm in no way surprised that you humans marry animals, but to each their own, I suppose.
Well, my pointy-eared friend, yeah, she is no animal.
She's a pig.
Whoa,
You say she's the
that's
babe in the
strong.
city, sir.
Yeah, whoa, yeah. How very dare you call my lovely wife a pig?
Racer looks over at Ulrich. He's like, it's a pig, right? That's what they call these things.
That's a pig. Swine, I think they sometimes call it.
You'll have to
Say
forgive
hog.
me, sir. I am,
Bacon.
you know, your
Flank.
Reich speak is somewhat new to me, but we would definitely call it a pig or a swine, apparently.
I mean, I know it's a tradition to spit roast a pig, but I didn't think you quite meant like that.
Oh,
dear.
oh,
dear, sir.
oh.
Oh, dear. We were keeping this PG-13 up until
Oh.
now.
Cut the feed.
He shakes his tankard dry again in the dwarf's direction.
I grab him by the scruff of the neck and pull him onto the, like literally face down onto the table, and then let go as he hits it. Bah!
Oh, now that's arm wrestling talk.
He doesn't want to arm wrestle you.
The next,
It's like
the
you
next thing
want
is
to fight.
axe slams down on the table.
Whoa, who brings an axe to a fist fight?
He's got a good point, Ulrich. I'm sure you can take him with just your fists.
Yeah, this doesn't need bloodshed.
And
If he does that again, it bloody will.
it would be
His
embarrassing
armor's
for you to be
worth
beat.
more than he is.
Ulrich, around these parts, that would still be considered murder if you did that. And
Yeah,
and then
And the doctor is an
that's-
expert on murder.
That is true. He is a murderer.
Hey, malpractice at best, right? Get the words right. So maybe you just break
not
this
wanted
guy's
here.
fucking arm, and I
And he goes and
charge
gets
him for the
pig,
privilege,
and he walks
and
out.
then we just
towards
go
the
to bed.
common room. Cowards, the lot of you.
Yep, that's us, cowards.
And he kisses his bicep.
See you later, Mr. Crawler.
Come on, Truffles.
Have they been touched by something? And I'll say, tapping my head.
He's not right, is he? I mean, the comb over was my first clue.
Who the hell does that to a pig?
The pig didn't have a comb over.
Oh dear.
Umgi.
They're. So I'm going to look at the Bretonian guy. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't seem fair to fight your friend. I don't think
I wasn't aware of the pig situation.
He's not well, is he?
Yeah, I was. I'd like to separate myself. I have quite a bad headache now. I need to go to bed.
I'm not surprised.
I always heard Bretonians are sheep fuckers anyway, so it wasn't pigs I was worried about.
I'd sleep in a different room if I was you, in case things get frisky in the night.
My room has a lock, and I'm happy with that.
Right,
and he disappears
right.
upstairs.
Gentlemen, on that note, I probably will be heading to bed myself. I think I've seen enough.
Could everybody
swinery
make
for
me
one night.
a challenging perception roll, please?
Oh dear.
Does
Not
my
now.
sixth sense come into play at any point, Jim?
Oh, it's tingling a little bit.
Impressive failure.
You can make an average perception roll.
Oh ho!
I got an astounding success.
Average.
766.
Well, look at that! I rolled
team.
100.
Go team, impressive failure.
You seem to be eyeing up the pig as it leaves the tavern.
Something not right about that pig.
Hang on, he might be onto something.
Maybe she's in Saucel.
Okay, so. Oof. Dear, oh dear. Who's new character?
That's me. That's Turpin.
We need to
Just
sort
getting
you
ready, Jim. Just getting ready.
Okay, so it is just the wood elf then. You notice the young gentleman who sat on his own reading this book that seems to be Strange Castles of the Old World on the front of it. He starts to look slightly perturbed and slightly uncomfortable, and he seems to be repeating a word over and over and over, and you can't understand what he's saying. Yeah, you get the gist of it, that it's some word of magical means or some. You've heard spellcasters, speaking this certain language before, and he's saying it louder and louder each turn, and it's almost as if he doesn't want to say it.
Ulrich, wizard, and Racer will start to move towards his table.
And then
I know he's right there. I'll say, pointing at the whole wizard.
It's like
there is a big puff of smoke, purple smoke, and feathers. Yeah, and the room fills with purple smoke and purple soot and feathers. And you hear this squealing, this real horrible squealing.
Oh, it sounds
then
like
you
he's
hear-
back where
Sounds
his
the
pig.
pig.
Squealing. And then you hear men squealing. And as the dust settles, there is this inhuman anomaly.
Pig.
It's the most disgusting thing that you've ever seen. And it
Worst
seems to be
case of
changing.
contact
As you're looking
dermatitis.
at it, it seems to be shifting. Its eyes shift from one place to another. Its arms are shifting. It is it's always in this flux of movement. Yeah. And its teeth are shifting, and it's looking over at everybody in an hungry sort of manner. And it runs towards the bar. Can you all give me your initiative, please?
indeed.
Oh crikey! How'd you do initiative? Is that a roll?
It's
or
just
Just your stat, your initiative.
just
Yeah.
a number, and it's I as initiative, isn't it? That's 30.
Correct.
Then.
No, 40. Sorry.
34.
Intelligence. 40.
All right, on a second.
Sorry, guys, just gonna let the dog out.
Right, what are your Ben?
30.
30. Aaron?
61.
Of course it is. Louis?
34.
34. Josh?
He's letting the dog
He
out.
said 40.
Yeah, he did say 40.
Okay, and Roger?
33.
33.
At least we've answered the question, who let the dogs out?
Indeed.
60.
61.
It's an elf.
It's an elf.
Just, you know.
Oh, they're good at everything, aren't they?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they're
Clearly
special
modeled
initiative.
himself on Ilmarin. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to complain the demon to death.
Shocking.
Not inaccurate.
Okay. So, Racer, you
Yes.
see this thing start to move, and you've got the beating of it. You're moving quicker than it, and it's running towards the barman. What's his name?
Gustav, a Herpin, Hespin.
Yeah.
So Racer will draw his rapier as his move action and lunge and strike at the creature, whatever it is.
Okay. Could you make me a cool roll, please?
I can, but that's not going to make me happy because it's not that good. Ooh, all right. Success. +1 SL.
Okay. It tries to. Oh, sorry. I was thinking that was a hit. So you've made one success. Okay, so you move towards it.
And I strike at it with my rapier.
Okay.
It can keep that 77 if it wants.
Oof.
Terrible roll. We're back to the same rolls we were getting last week, guys.
Yay.
All right,
All
so I
right.
won.
You did indeed.
So 6 damage.
6 damage.
Good Lord.
And he says over his shoulder, Ulrich, are you going to come and join this fight or what?
Get in, that's a demon. I'm not going anywhere near that.
Okay. It turns and it strikes at you. Where are we? Oof, with its one success.
Come on, please.
Painful.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
I am
Volkswagen now.
I'm gonna spend my fortune point to re-roll that.
Okay.
Bloody hell.
Oh dear.
Okay. Have you got any? Has anybody gifted you any sort of reroll in the?
No.
None of us have got rerolls.
Wow. Okay.
That's just
Negative.
cruel.
Minus
It's
10.
the
to
rate
my
we were
next
going through
attack.
momentum in June yesterday. It's not a surprise. There's
Everyone's
not much,
out.
not much rerolls left, I don't think.
Okay. So he does 8. Sorry, you did minus 3. Did you?
Yeah, so 11.
11 damage as he sort of bites into you.
Ouch.
Yeah, that hurt.
Aaron will be changing his character name to new.
Don't worry,
character.
I have a singular bandage. You'll be fine. We can
A
share.
dirty one.
Okay.
I got one for next round though.
Okay.
Keeps mine up.
So
And I've got 2 now. Thank you both.
you see Racer strike at him, and he does stick his rapier in, and it doesn't seem to bury itself very far into this thing, whatever it is. and then the thing turns round and its mouth moves from the front of its head to the back of its head, which is where Racer is, and it bites out at him, causing him some.
I didn't get that. Could you?
Causing him some damage. Josh.
Now here is where Turpin bottoms out, right? I have a very good ballistic skill, but in terms of trappings, all I have is a dagger. So, Jim, at your discretion, how could I throw the dagger really hard?
Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can.
And I don't care if handle or hilt hits it. It is. So, is that a ballistic roll?
Mm-hmm. It is. It'll be a challenging ballistic roll.
Everything's challenging, right? So how do I go with that? I go. If I'm just trying to roll a main skill, where do I click? The bottom. There we go. Okay. Challenging. Bunk. Impressive failure. I'm going to use a fortune point. Let's do it. That's a fortune point.
Okay.
I was going to say, otherwise it might hurt the elf.
Yeah. Here we go. Nice. +3 success.
Are we supposed to start with any fortune points?
Okay, so
yes,
you throw this dagger, and it's as you throw it, it sort of goes up in the air as you release it too early. Yeah, but it strikes the roof and it comes down and it buries itself into the head of the creature. So, how much damage do you do there? What?
It's just a hand weapon, isn't it? Or
yeah. So it's what's your strength?
Dagger is a dagger.
My strength is 28. So my strength bonus is
5. Okay. Minus. Okay. So yeah, it's sticking out the top of his head. Not very far in, but it is sticking out the top of his head.
Right. Perfect.
Okay.
That's me done, guys.
Okay.
Hey, better than I did.
Yep. Polus is gonna go, sod it, and draw his
Get his horse
and weapon.
Make me a cool roll, Mr.
Shout
Lewis.
out behind him, "Fear not, ladies, we shall protect you." And
Okay.
I'm serious. I'm gonna use a resolve point. 'Cause
Okay.
you can use that after you've.
Yeah, you can roll
Use that
first.
after
I
you've
can roll
rolled.
first. Okay. Because
The resolve point will only nullify it for 1 round as well.
yeah, I know, but 1 round of not wetting myself is 1 round of not wetting myself, which I otherwise would have.
Can
Okay.
fortune it first.
Have we got any re-rolls? Because I can't see them.
Yeah, we've all been given one, I think.
Oof.
Yes, we have.
Use your
Go
reroll. Thank you, everybody, for your rerolls.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter. Yeah. I seem to be able to. I've done much more damage this session than I ever have in my previous Warhammer game. Yeah. So I'm more than happy.
It's true.
Yeah. No. Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Racer,
no.
After this, Miss Hagen, eh?
now, Racer is definitely not Hagen, but Racer's
Okay. So
Oh.
your cool is running down your leg at the moment.
No, I'm gonna dive into my pool of resolve just
Okay.
this once.
Cancels himself again.
Yeah, just
Otherwise,
Purely-
it's condition.
purely out of spite against Alric and Racer.
The turtle does slightly poke its head out of its shell, but then
You're like,
draw on your inner strength and it sucks back up and you're ready to go. What would you like to do, Paulus?
I'd be that toad pie.
I'd like to go and attack it, but I don't think.
Okay, go for it.
We outnumber it now, 2-1.
Yay!
So yeah, you get +20.
So I can change it from challenge to app.
Plus, you're wet, so you're harder to grapple.
Why would it be trying to grapple the inside of his trousers?
It's
Okay.
a chaos demon, right?
You swing with your sword. I take it as a sword.
Yeah.
And where its head was, it seems to shift and move down as you swipe across where it was, and you miss quite dramatically.
Well, it could get a worse roll on its counter. It's
It
possible.
could get a worse roll. I forgot that bit.
It could. It's not gonna.
Could.
Damn you and your knowledge of combat.
It does have 1 point of advantage though, because it hit me.
So I've
Yeah.
not used the advantage there.
Oh no, so it passes.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it moves out the way. And last but not no, Roger,
Okay, so
make me a cool roll, please.
oh god, I'm going to fortune that. Oh no, I don't need to, do I? I can give it a reroll. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you gather your thoughts.
And I'm going straight in. My axe is already in my hand after I was threatening to chop that other guy in half. So pulling the shield as I run in, straight in.
Okay.
So now we outnumber it 3-1.
So many
Nice.
success levels.
Oof.
Nice. Yes.
Oof.
Holy
Wow.
moly.
Okay. So you give it a bit of a smack.
It still gets to roll to defend.
Yep. It will. Oof.
Nice.
18 damage.
18 damage.
Does this have any fortune points?
Oh. So you slam into it and you cut a piece off it and it's sort of wriggling on the floor. Where are we?
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay. And it sort of squeals out in pain as your axe bites into it. But it is still there. It's sort of holding itself up, but it's still as lively as it was. Ben.
Shall I do it? Shall I do it?
Make
So
a
do some
cool roll.
magic.
Magic.
Yeah, that's magic.
This is where we get a second demon.
Well, the first one seemed to
Cavern
be.
full of demons.
I think I might attack the caster though. Wizard duel. I shall leave my mundane minions.
Jim,
deal
did
with
the guy
demon.
did the guy turn into a demon, or is he like? Did he cast the demon?
No, the smoke seemed to come and it was still bellowing from the book that he was reading. And he sort of sat there like this, like all shocked as if what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to dart him. So that's a language magic roll.
Yes.
Is that right? Challenging, average,
Challenging.
Oh, challenging.
Oh,
Oh, double on the magic roll. That can't be good.
no, that can't be good at all.
It's not a problem
Miscast.
because of the etheric attunement. I don't get miscasts because of that.
Next week, 5 new characters.
How boring. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm going to use a reroll though.
Okay.
Oh,
Slightly better.
No, the etheric attunement only works on a channel test, not a cast test.
Not a
Oh,
cast
okay.
test.
So you
miscast
would,
away.
you would have miscast if you
Except I re-rolled it and got a
except you
49,
rerolled. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a marginal failure. What does that mean?
Means you failed.
It means you just go bzz and do
Yep.
nothing.
It means the
Ah!
spark was there, but it
No
fizzled.
bite.
It only got about that far away from your finger.
Yeah.
Stefan, it's that contact dermatitis I've been warning you about.
Yeah.
To be
it's
fair,
a
I think
scaly
it's
skin.
probably the wine.
Okay. It's back to the top. Mr. Wood Elf and your freshly wounded self.
Yep, he is pretty beat up, but I get plus 40 since we outnumbered it 3-1.
You do indeed.
Oh,
Critical hit.
What is your let me see if what is your critical hit, Mr. Racer?
Internal
Internal
bleeding.
bleeding.
It's not going to do much to a demon.
Oof.
The extra wounds will they?
Yes, absolutely.
5 extra wounds. So
Let
depending
me,
on what it
let me see
gets.
if I can parry that. Yeah, with my incredible weapon skill.
Critical success.
It's your
Oh dear.
so that's 24 points. 24 points of damage.
So you stick your rapier, you sort of see what's going on, and your elven sort of senses have copped what it's doing, and it's shifting all the time. And you think if you'd have gone where its eye was, you'd have missed. So you've sort of second guessed where it is, and you stick your rapier in, and it goes straight through its eyeball. Yeah, and purple liquor comes out, and then there's a big solid puff of smoke again, and this time it's black and acrid and lots of brimstony smell. And then it sort of lowers itself from the ceiling, the smoke, and there's just like a burn mark on the floor where this demon has been dealt with.
And Racer looks down at Ulrich and he goes, "That's one for me."
Only after I bailed you out, you useless git.
What are you talking about? I hit it with a dagger from over here.
But Paulus is just looking around going, did I get
Gustav
it? Did
sort of
that
looks
do
up
it?
above his bar. Is it dealt with?
I'm going to go over to the wizard and flip the book shut.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Oh.
And then take it away from him.
I'm going to go over to the wizard with my axe.
Oh. I did
Where's your
nothing.
license?
My license? I am. I don't. I'm on the way to Outdorf to get one.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be casting spells without a license, should you?
I didn't
You know the
realise I was
rules.
casting a spell. I was
Don't
just
think
reading this
people's-
book.
Don't think people summoning demons have licenses.
No, I don't think so either.
Stefan,
I think
Stefan,
you want
did
to
you
stay.
just try to cast a spell?
You want to stay away from Outdorf if you're pulling spells like that out of your book. Honestly, man, what are you thinking?
Stefan, excuse me, Stefan.
Yeah.
Did you just touched that book, didn't you?
I closed the book. It's fine. I've got it.
I am
I've
but a
made it
physicist
safe.
apprentice. I am not even a wizard.
Well, you definitely shouldn't be casting spells then, should you?
I didn't cast the spell. The book
did
cast the
cast the
spell that
spell.
I was reading.
Oh,
What?
because that's going to stand up for the witch hunters, isn't it? It's
What
people like you
mules?
that give us a bad name.
What mule turd is this? Surely summoning a demon can't be legal in the bloody empire.
I didn't summon a
It
demon.
very much isn't.
It
So
definitely
does that
isn't.
mean?
We had a whole seminar on it.
So we're allowed to
Gustav,
kill.
your-
So it's
your
if
friend-
we kill this guy, it's not murder, right? It's justice.
I think it's
Your
still
friend over
murder,
there
sir.
looks like
I'll be
he's
honest with
wounded.
you.
I could deal with him for free. I
So-
could patch his wounds up for nothing.
So you don't think demonology is? So it's not acceptable to kill demonologists in the
Oh,
empire.
he's not a demonologist. He's an idiot.
He summoned a bloody demon.
By accident.
Gustav, Gustav, is there a witch hunter in this anywhere in this inn to deal with this miscreant?
There is, but I believe he's out finding witches. I believe he put it.
That would be classic witch. Racer, you appear to be bleeding from the head. Would you like me to see to that?
Based on what you've told me of your skills, no. I will see to the wounds myself.
I could deal with it, Sir Alf.
Oh, because they're going to let you go anywhere near it. You summoned
Yeah.
a demon out of a book.
Speaking of
Wait.
the book, Stefan, I think
He lifts a little
you should hand
shoebox
that
up
over.
with a handle. He says, "I've got my physician's gear. I can fix you.
So are you
We'll
a
do it for
physician
free.
or a magician's apprentice? Make your
I'm
mind
a,
up.
I'm a physician's apprentice. That's what I said.
So why
Right.
have you got a book of magic?
Tarpin?
I didn't realise
Hang on.
it was a book of magic.
If you're a
Would you,
physician's
uh,
apprentice, answer me this, right? Why don't we wash our hands? Everyone says wash your hands, but what's the one reason?
Because I'll tell you why. Yeah, if you wash your hands, you clean all the gunk off, which cleans all the protection off your hands. So it leaves you open to infections and things by sticking your fingers in other people's bodies. Yeah.
He's
So if
bloody
you
right,
keep them
guys.
on
It checks
wash-
out. He's a physician's apprentice. I
Okay.
hate to rattle it, but he is.
Well,
So,
we're still going to tie him up.
Yeah, shouldn't you
and
at least get someone to bloody arrest him?
That's got to be illegal, tying someone up.
No.
You don't summon
I think that
demons!
checks
You
out.
summoned a demon. I think being tied up is the least of your problems.
In fact, I'll be
Also-
having those tools. I'm confiscating.
Yeah, I think Turpin deserves to have your physician's tools as well,
Also,
as
they need to bloody
recompense
gag him.
for
So
the
I'm going to
whole
go and see
demon
what
thing.
other dangers you run the risk of bringing into this world by having a
Absolutely.
The
thorough
bandits, all
and
of them.
careful read of this book.
Stefan,
Excuse me, sir.
Once you've finished
Stefan,
with that
fine
book, I
establishment.
know somewhere we can send it that it'll be safe.
everyone, Be still, Stefan. Give the book to Ulrich. Ulrich and I will destroy the book. That is what we're here to do.
It's a book about famous dangerous castles in the old world.
You be still. You be still. You're most likely going to the pyre.
If you don't shut your trap, Manling, I'm going to put my boot between your legs. Someone tie this bugger up.
This is outrageous, yes.
I kick him in the nuts.
And violence. You don't even need to roll because you're right there, and he's leaving himself a little bit open as he tries to defend himself with his mouth. And yeah, you catch him right there. You miss both of his legs, and yeah, you hit him square in the place.
I did warn him, and I'm wearing steel boots, so that might hurt.
And as he's talking or trying to, he's mandatory, and he makes a noise like that.
You got any rope?
And he doubles up, and he rocks back onto his chair.
Can I ask the innkeeper? Turn to him and be like, sir, what is it you would normally do in a situation like this? On account of you are in the middle of nowhere, it might take a couple of days for a lawman to come around.
I'd bar him.
All right, well, fair enough. We'll do that then. And of course, you want his stuff confiscated, won't you, and burned?
No, because it might be corrupted. So
exactly, and burned, sir.
Yeah. While we're on the subject, Aaron, could you make me a corruption roll, please?
Let's see. Where is that on the sheet?
It's a cool or an endurance test, isn't it? Corruption.
I think it's endurance.
I think that you can use either or. I think
that would make sense because otherwise, a wizard like me wouldn't be able to resist corruption at all.
Yeah, I think you can either do it through willpower or just through sheer just screw you.
It's about the same for me, so I'll give it an endurance check. Ooh, success. Nice. +2 success levels.
Okay.
Racer, I know you think I may be a halfling and incapable of doing healing, but you are bleeding, and I do know how to stop that. I promise I won't do the leeches. All right.
I'll let you try, my friend. I'll keep a close eye on you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Now.
And I have these beautiful tools, which I am going to disinfect, and I'm just going to hold them over the fire.
The racer shakes his head and sighs, but before you get started, Stefan, the book to Ulrich.
Right. Master Ulrich. We
I
need
take
to find
it and
out.
hurl it straight into the fire.
We need to find out what he was doing with it. There could have been evidence.
I mean,
it's unnecessary.
Literally, you just handed it to him, and he just went.
I didn't even hand it to him. I think
it is quite a thick book, and it's just sitting on top of the fire at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm also not desperate enough to leap into a fire after it.
And it slowly starts flickering.
I should have mentioned this is pretty much what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the book starts spitting, and there's little bits of fire coming out of the fire.
Oh, come on. I have one job.
The correct thing to do.
Well, best thing to do with chaos is burn it.
What about burying it really, really deep? Like we dig all night and we burn
chaos.
You burn it.
What about throwing it really, really high?
Well,
into a fire.
Sending it to your enemies.
You burn the evil tomes and you burn the demonologist. I don't understand why this is.
That's so difficult. That's not a question. That's not a question at all.
Why you're not burning that one.
Behind burning the book and the demonologist. I just wanted to get the information out of it first, not the demon. I wanted to see what he was using to get the demon so that we know how to counter it in future. Yes, that was evidence that we could have used to prevent the same situation from arising again.
Do you know how you burn the demonologist as well as the bloody book?
Yeah, let's all take a moment to appreciate what one of our viewers has got to say about what to do with the young physician's apprentice. And he rightly says he cast the spell by reading from a book. Tie up his eyes. Fantastic.
There you go.
Thank
Well
you,
played.
Nice Slice.
Well played.
Nice Slice hasn't missed once tonight. All of his comments have absolutely slapped.
Racer turns to Ulrich and he goes, "We're going to have to keep an eye on the other wizard. Clearly, he's quite interested in demonology."
No, I want to stop demonology.
You don't stop it by reading it, you stupid bastard.
You need to be able to recognize it. I mean, I know that was pretty obvious,
You
but,
recognise it by them summoning a demon, and then you chop their bloody head off. That stops them.
but if we could have stopped him summoning the demon ahead of him summoning the demon, that would
We
have been
can't
more
say the
useful.
elf should be wearing a top hat with a buckle on it.
I'm wondering, Ulrich, your logic, it seems a bit flawed, right? Because if I want to stop someone writing rude words, me learning to read might be a good idea instead of just killing everyone I met with a pen. That seems a bit silly, right?
It's not dangerous to write things down unless they're that.
But you
Don't
don't
worry.
know what he's writing down if you don't know what he's writing down. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know that was a chaos book. Maybe he is a demonologist, but you fucked it in the fire, so now we can't tell. So
There
maybe
could have
he's
only
the threat.
been like a single
Or
page
reading it.
insert.
Or reading it again could have summoned a bigger bloody
But
demon.
maybe it's the bar stool.
Turpin.
Maybe
A chaos
it could just
bookmark.
stop a pint. Maybe
Turpin.
it's the cheese you ate yesterday.
Turpin. Any book that allows you to summon a demon must be destroyed.
But
I
we
don't
only
care
know
if
it
it's
was
a
the book because he said it, and he's the one who summoned the demon.
I
Can-
saw the smoke.
Can everybody make
rising
me
from the
a challenging perception roll, please?
I'm still stood over the guy riding around on the floor, and I've not taken
Okay,
my
can you
eyes
make
off him.
me a average perception roll, please?
I'm looking
Mars
straight
and
at him.
success.
Huzzah! I succeeded at something for once.
Yeah, me too, at long last.
Do I only get plus 20 given I stated I'm looking straight at him?
Well,
Yeah, but you're
because
Get the
distracted by
impression
Hamlet.
we
you didn't
all
throw
see
the
him.
book into the fire, and you didn't. That took a little bit of your concentration.
All right,
Yeah.
I still
You
pass.
noticed that he started to squirm ever closer and closer to the stairs.
I put my boot on him.
Oh,
I'll add a boot on his
misspoke,
ankle.
Molly.
No, literally, I'm just kind of stood on part of him. You ain't going anywhere.
You portly bearded bag of shit.
You're not helping yourself, son. At this point, you should be calling him
I
Captain
apply more
Handsome.
of my I apply more of my weight to it, and he's a
I must
pretty
say, though,
big dwarf.
I must say, though, Ulrich, he does seem to have you pegged.
Elky.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
what we gonna do with him now?
Well, I've barred him. Yeah, I want him out the tavern. So can we kick him out the door and he can be on his way?
sounds good
Okay,
to
so
me.
you
No
seem to
problem,
be
sir.
the only bugger alarmingly with any common sense around here other than me. Search him.
But
before
how
we
is it
kill him.
common sense to just leave someone who summons demons to walk around the...
I did.
Well,
Somebody
maybe
did,
we'll
the book did.
tie
I
him
mean,
up
a
first
minute
and
ago
then
you were
let
going
him
to
go.
burn him. So you burnt the book that was mostly about castles, but you're not going to burn the summoner.
Apparently,
squat?
that's called murder.
Can I
I'm
squat
not-
down
I'm-
beside him?
I'm not the expert on your bloody laws.
I'm gonna do good cop. Can I squat near him? Right, listen, son. What's your name? I've lost my accent entirely. What was your name then?
My name?
Yeah,
I'm not
it was
sure
your-
if I should tell you. You're a bunch of brigands, thieves, and bandits.
No, hang on. I'm the one defending you here. The dwarf wants you dead. The magician wants your secrets. The elf, who fucking knows, they live in trees. And Sir Paulus over there, I think he's gonna piss himself any second, so it's hard to tell.
My name's Ernst.
Drunk a lot of beer.
I mean,
Ernst.
let me go. I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was just
Ernst.
read a book.
Ernst, how do you find yourself summoning demons in a pub and then claiming innocent of knowing anything about it?
Look, I was just reading it. I didn't even. I'm a physician by trade. I didn't even know what I was reading. Yeah.
Ignorance of the law is no defence. I think we've got enough people to be able to drum up a court. I mean, Sir Paulus, you're nobility, so you're able
I
to
preside.
preside.
Absolutely, and we do have a lady here.
And not
Racer
to put
will-
too fine a point on it,
The lady is no longer there.
I am the foremost expert on magic in the room right now.
Ernst, I am willing to act as your solicitor and lawyer. It will cost you, but I am willing to do it.
Ernst, where did you
Oh.
get this? Where did you
Oh.
get the book? If you would
My-
defend yourself, where did
My
you get
mind's
the book?
coming back to me now.
Right, Ernst, keep talking, keep talking.
He made me do it, and he points at Stefan.
Right, of course. Hey, he made him do it. Ernst, that'll cost you 2 brass pennies.
Maybe
No,
we
wink
should
to
hold the
Stefan.
court outside as he's barred.
Can someone
True.
get some bloody rope?
Also, there'll be kindling and a big post that we can tie him to.
Gustav,
Murderers!
can we get one of these chairs outside for me to sit on and preside?
That's true. We need a chair for you.
We also need some bloody rope.
Oh yeah, that's
Have we still not got rope?
No.
He's been standing on
how
this
do
entire
I
game.
have 4 servants and still there's no rope?
Call me
I'm-
a servant again, Manling, and you'll be next.
Right,
I'm not
Ernst,
a servant. I'm ad hoc
Oh, yeah,
judiciary proctor at this stage.
Ernst, I am going to tie you up now, but I'm doing this on your behalf. I hope you understand, right? And it will be in the bill. So I'm going to go and
This really isn't fair.
Ernst, it is, you got to take it up with your judicial system. You got to get in touch with your councillors, right? And with the feudal system, you really got to go up. And to do that, you need to be born nobility, my sons. That is a bit difficult. But if you want to challenge that again, I'm willing to do so. But there is a cost.
Challenging the
do us a
feudal
favour
system
and
sounds
search
like the
this
kind of
bugger.
thing a demonologist would do.
Exactly. Ernst,
I
might
will
also
say
add-
that will count against you as evidence.
Yeah, and Ernst, I don't mean it, poke light, but you do have a severe case of contact hepatitis. You might want to get that looked at.
That does not exist. I don't know what you're on about.
He is a physician's apprentice, isn't he? He's very good. He's very good.
Right, are we going to
I don't tie
manhandle
up
him
this.
outside then?
Please let me go.
Racer,
No.
search him.
Racer will search him.
Okay, he has a dagger in a scabbard on his belt. He has his satchel of physician's tools.
So, Jim, he has my satchel.
It's
Absolutely.
Turpin's satchel.
He
So that's
has
theft as
a
well.
rather large jar of leeches, and he also has a book that reads leeches and their curative properties. And
Right, this is all evidence. We will be confiscating it on your behalf, of course.
um, please let me go. I've done nothing wrong.
Does he have anything else on him? Like any coin?
He has a small pouch with
Or a note that says, I'm a demonologist, burn me?
So you burned that.
Ask him
you
for a
burned
friend.
that.
Yeah, you did already burn that. It was on his bookmark.
To be fair, Ben, you're lucky I'm not burning you at this point. Dwarves don't need a lot of excuse to burn witches.
I can't believe there's burning going on already.
That's why I'm standing as the prosecution in this case.
He has in a pouch 1 gold coin,
Ooh,
20 shillings,
holy hell.
and 240 brass pennies.
Don't think we need to worry about the carriage fee anymore.
Could-
That's-
Oi,
Yeah,
I
I
need my
believe
money.
at this point we a demon, and at this point we should probably create some kind of collective pot that we can use for pies and taverns and maybe my scribe will look
Judiciary
after it.
trials.
Yeah,
And they have to pay us for the judiciary trials. I'm presiding.
Do you want me to create you a journal entry so you can have a
Yeah.
party treasure? Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be
I'm
great.
not-
Yeah.
You're going to have to bear with me for 2 minutes while I work out how to do it.
That's all right. I'll monologue it, Ernst.
It's all right. Someone just note it down and we'll do that later.
So, Ernst,
Okay.
what happens now is a little bit unfortunate. We are going to drag you outside. I'll act as your defense, right? You'll be sitting there in front of Paulus. He is a knight. And of course, the prosecution is Stefan over there. A friend of mine. Don't worry. I think we'll get you a lenient sentence. The only thing not working in your favor is the fact that you actually did summon a demon inside
And
this
accused the prosecution of making you do it.
in front of very many witnesses, like maybe 18, I think, by last count. So that's something you're going to have a good excuse for, you know. And this whole, it was a book, I was reading it. I mean, everyone knows physicians are notoriously illiterate, so that doesn't really stand, right? So you're going to have to come up with something a little bit stronger than just I was reading a book and a demon popped up, on account of I read a poster on the way here and I didn't see nothing pop up.
Look, honestly, right, I've done nothing wrong.
Where did
It's
you
right.
get
not
the
how the
book?
witch hunters are going to see it.
Sticking to that, I like it. It's a classic.
I'll just start
We'll see
dragging
how
him
it holds up.
outside at this point.
Yeah.
Look, you are a bunch of
I'm-
wrong uns. You've robbed me blind, yeah? Yeah, and you're setting me out here. Probably gonna
Civil
murder me,
forfeiture
yeah?
is not robbery.
Where-
It's definitely
where-
yeah.
Anyone else-
back
is
if
there
you're
anyone else
innocent,
in the
sir.
tavern?
This is the
Um,
arm wrestling guy, right?
there is the two halfling food people, Staminella, and there's the guy who's quite a portly guy who was the chef here. He's sitting with them, drinking water with them. He does smell kind of fishy.
If you're going to do it, you might want to assemble a jury.
I don't think
Right.
we need a jury, but they may be useful as witnesses.
First, Ernst, where did you get the book?
Right. So he's acting as prosecution now as well. It seems like there's many people.
That bloke with the
Yeah.
pig gave it to me.
So
No,
I
with the big
believe
history.
that this is a bit beyond your remit. Stefan is prosecution.
Well, not until we actually get the court set up outside. So
Okay.
can we make that happen? Anybody? Anyone can
I need my chair.
can we get a chair outside and we need to tie him to a tree. And let's be
Racer.
honest, we're going to need some kindling.
Yeah, I agree. But, you know, just as like for show, Ernst, don't worry about it. Not even a thing. It just makes us seem like we're taking it seriously if we also help with the kindling.
But what are you doing with me?
We're
Well,
tying
we're
you
going
to
to have a
tree
court.
and then
It's a fair point.
trying you fairly.
It's raining outside. I'll catch the death of me.
Don't worry.
I don't think
we'll,
that's the problem.
we'll light a fire or something. You'll be fine from the rain.
I dare say you'll be warm for the rest of your life, son.
Please don't hurt me. I've done nothing wrong.
Oh, he's going to stick.
It was that git with the pig.
I know
As much
I'm
as I'd like to
presiding.
burn that guy as well. What's happening to me? Oh,
Racer,
Ernst,
Racer's given up on all of this, and he goes back to the chair, pours himself a glass of wine, and sees to his own injuries.
Oh no! This is the one thing I was looking forward to. So Ernst, just between you and I, man, half man, you've been half man on account of some of the demons. When we came in earlier, you was reading that book, and the pig man came in after that. So I don't see that standing up in the
I
Ring's
never said he
court.
gave it to me after you seen him. I said he gave
Right.
it to me earlier.
So he's an
I was
accomplice
there
of
before
yours
he went
from-
upstairs.
Right, okay, I'm going to need you to come clean because honestly, your case is looking pretty poor at the moment. You need a solid alibi, and you're going
Piss
to
off,
need a
pie
witness.
muncher.
Right, okay. Yeah, he did it! He fucking done it!
Leave me alone. You're all bullies.
Racer's just sitting over there as if there was any doubt that he did it. We all watched him do it. For the love of God, this is why you humans find the troubles that you do.
If you give me my money back, I'll leave without saying no more.
Ooh, I don't think you're really in a position to negotiate. Oh, this is awkward because, I don't care anymore. I don't care if you call me a pie muncher.
Piss off, Krusty.
There you go again. It's not helping. It's
Master
not
Dwarf,
helping.
what would you say would be appropriate under the circumstances?
You are no better than a penny punching. Well, you're not even a physician's apprentice.
Oh.
Yeah, you're a wannabe, a woolly back physician.
My new physician's apprentice kit begs to differ.
Well, where I came from,
very
if
difficult.
we saw someone summon a demon, we wouldn't hesitate. We'd just kill him. But apparently, that's illegal here.
At this
Well,
point,
no,
Racer, in his exhaustion over this entire conversation, walks over, sticks his rapier into the guy's heart, and then says, "Take the body out and burn it for the love of God."
Oh, he's already outside. I'd hold him outside by
That's-
this point.
that-
He just looks at you with this shocked face.
Demonologists die. That is what you do.
As
Burn the body.
presiding,
Pronounce sentence before he passes. Pronounce
he was
sentence.
definitely guilty. Yeah, burning. That'll do.
May the
Racer.
eyes of more forgive your transgressions, but not the demonology. You're going to hell.
Racer, will you be needing a solicitor on account of the murder you just done?
Wasn't a murder.
That was an execution. It was.
Oh, right, understood. Because I was going to take your stuff too.
I was saying classical, but it was an execution before the fact, so that it sounds nice and legally.
Racer just looks down at Turpin, flicks the blood on the rapier off in his general direction, and goes, "No, I will not be needing a solicitor. But thank you for the offer.
Do you want that wound tended to now?
I will let you try."
On a scale of 1 to 100, I'm about a 28. So you're wrong.
Then no, my young friend, I will try myself.
28% chance of making things better.
I'll push. Yeah, I got a reroll.
72% chance of making things worse.
So,
Is the elf letting the halfling?
Oh, no.
on him?
Racer sits down and tends to his own wound. So I'll do my own heal check.
Poorly, I might add, with clean hands.
With clean hands, very clean hands.
Master Ulrich, can you help me with the body? It's too heavy for me to lift.
Why? Where do you want it?
But we've got to take it outside and burn it. We can't burn
It's
it
already
in here.
outside.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'd literally dragged it out earlier.
But we need to take it a little bit further away from the front door to burn it.
Well, if you make a pyre first, it's probably easier if it's a
You
bit
do
drier.
realise that nothing is going to burn in this weather at the moment. It is
This
wet,
is why I had my
beyond wet.
thrown
I
it
mean,
really high. Or
We could just
buried
hook it
really
into
deep.
the woods.
On,
What, the
on the
body?
plus point, the little hole about the area of his heart, yeah, it's slowly removing the blood stain from around it. Yeah, as the rain pounds down on his dead, lifeless corpse.
That's fair.
A witch hunting would what? String him up in a tree?
Burn him.
Sounds
Well,
like a
they-
lot.
on
they-
a pyre.
They burn
Ulrich
him.
likes burying stuff.
You need to burn out the taint, don't you?
But it
Yeah.
is raining, so
Inside the tavern and burn him in
cold
there in
as
the
well.
fucking fireplace. Yeah.
the smell though.
I just kind of launch the body as far as I can and then walk back into the tavern. Just bored of the
Okay.
conversation.
I'm not standing outside on my own.
It
It's scary out
reaches
there.
about 2 foot into the undergrowth, but it is thick undergrowth and it's thorny. So
That'll do.
It's more ceremony than it deserves.
Something
Okay,
about
if
that
you all
just
get back
doesn't
into the
sit
tavern,
right.
Gustav shuts the door and locks it behind her. This is right. We don't want no more of that, do we? I tell you what, I'll forego your room costs for tonight. You've done me a great service in getting rid of that creature. But I want to clear the room for now, and Yeah, let's get everybody to bed now because I need to sleep. I've got an headache.
Are the coachmen still in there?
They're both asleep at the table.
Okay.
Racer goes up to his room and does his heel check.
You've got two of them at the back of your feet.
Yay!
Oh, that's where they are. Oh my god.
He's a trained
His
physician.
Achilles. His Achilles.
I got a marginal success +1 SL, so I will get 5 wounds back with my intelligence bonus, which takes me back to full.
Aaron, here's what you could have had. -3 failures. So,
I know, to be fair, he wouldn't have hurt him
The
unless he
hole
fails
could have been
badly
that much
enough.
bigger.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
he
like-
would. He would have taken a wound.
Yeah, he would have messed
exactly,
me up.
I mean to brag, but you could be doing worse right now, and we could have had a whole thing about it.
we need to get you some books, don't we? And
Well, I have
hope
one
that the
now.
dwarf doesn't burn them.
Yeah, I have one now, and
Well,
a whole
if he
set of
summons
tools.
if he summons a demon, I'll burn it. And him.
I do suggest that we take a look at his other book to make sure that it
Hey,
is
you know what?
what
We
it
could
says it is.
Check that
That's a
other
good
book
point, because
first.
where is that other book?
I have it. I took all his positioning stuff. Should I roll a corruption test?
Are you advertising the fact that you've got it, Josh?
No, I don't tell anyone.
Well, we kind of assume, probably
Okay.
know. I can check the book if you want.
I think later when we go to who's in the room with me, because I know people were reluctant,
I
reticent.
believe you were sharing a room with Lewis and Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Stefan, would you mind reading the first couple of pages to me as I try to sleep?
That's all I wanted to do with the first one. Yes, that's fine. I'll read the book.
Right.
Paulus is going to pull the quilt up and listen intently whilst he brushes his moustache.
It's going to be such a shame when we have to burn Stefan.
Make me a challenging demonology stroke magic roll, please, Ben.
What would that be? Language magic?
Yeah, language
Yep.
magic.
And demon.
Ooh.
Boom!
Okay,
Demon.
yeah, it's
Nailed it.
definitely just about leeches and how they're good for wounds and things. Yeah. It's definitely a physician's book.
Just as I thought, it's completely clean. I've even checked the margin notes. I mean, I can draw some shapes in it if you want the dwarf to burn it.
Illustrations.
Oh, it's got illustrations. Look,
Right. Right.
but they're illustrations of leeches for the most part.
Yeah,
Right.
leeches.
I mean, look at this one of mouth parts. That's pretty horrifying.
Well, it looks about right to me, I'll be honest. My experience of leeches is that they are horrifying.
There is one page there that talks about bad headaches, and it does suggest that the most effective way of using your leeches is to put one on each eyeball.
Right. And how many additional points to my heal does this give me?
What are you
None if it's
putting
fairly-
How does the elf have better healing than the physician's apprentice?
Well, the healing is one of the duelist's required
They
skills.
get cut up
at
a lot,
Fencer.
so they have to be able to patch themselves up.
It's just exceptional. I'm a better cook than I am, and that was by accident.
Your rooms that you do note haven't got locks on the inside of the doors.
The doors open inwards.
Yes.
Okay, once I'm in the room, I will rather unceremoniously drag the bed so it's blocking
Which one? You have two beds in your room.
whichever I come to first.
Okay. Okay, you drag one of the beds. How about you, Racer?
Same thing.
Okay.
Blocks the door with the bed.
How about you three?
Yeah, I'm going to drag a bed in front of the door and then sleep in it. So
The only trouble is by doing that, there's not much floor space for the third person to sleep on.
I can sleep under the bed.
you could. That's
No,
all right.
that's
You
unfair.
sleep
You can-
here
It
at
reminds
the
me of the
foot.
boot.
We'll
You-
put top and tail.
If he like fetal positions, I can actually sleep on the bed.
Yeah, you can sleep at the foot of my bed. It'll
Like
keep my
some
legs
sort of
warm.
noble hound.
Okay, so eventually you all drift off to sleep and dream of all things old world and
Right.
flowery.
Howard,
Right.
bugger.
Rain.
The elf, he just meditates and until the sun starts to come up. And there's a large noise from downstairs that sounds like a wooden spoon being banged on the inside of a saucepan.
Racer would have already
Spies.
been Racer would have already been up and outside at least 30 minutes before the dawn, stretching and working
You'd
through.
probably
his-
have to climb out the window.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
You notice that downstairs that there's lots of meat on the table and cheeses and breads, hard breads, all been sort of laid out for customers of the tavern.
Is Gunter or Gustav, that is, up?
Yeah, he's up. He's ordering his man round Hespin.
Morning, good sir. Thank you for your hospitality last night.
And again, a thousand thanks for dealing with that thing. I'm glad you were here. You know, I mean, your friends didn't look like they could deal with it, and you know the others.
Well,
you know,
between you and me,
your race, you and your kin.
well, between you and me, and don't ever tell him this, but Ulrich hit it quite hard. The dwarf is a fierce fighter, but we're going to keep that between ourselves.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes, no problem.
But it was that is our duty. We are sworn to deal with things like last night for the next 100 years.
Look, I don't know if I should tell you this, but you did me a great favor last night, and it's not that I do it out my own free will, and I feel really bad about it, but I think you should be careful today on your road to Altdorf.
What news do you have?
One of the gentlemen in the tavern last night, he found out some information about you and your group, and his friends are known to lay ambushes out there, and they're also known to burn coaching inns down and murder the innkeepers.
Well, should we run across these brigands, I'm fairly certain that they will not trouble your inn or any coaches ever again.
Thank you, Sir Elf. You do carry yourself in a much more noble light than the other sir, even though it has been a pleasure to have the sir in the building.
Well, Sir Paulus is truly but a child, so in time perhaps he will mature into whatever it is.
Managed to grow that moustache. He's a child.
Oh, I mean,
Is he a mutant?
20, 30 years of age. Nothing.
Okay. I see what you did. Yeah, I got you now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Very good. But yeah, just keep your eyes out.
I appreciate the warning, friend.
And he bangs his saucepan again.
Where are the coach drivers?
They're still asleep at the table.
Is the lady downstairs yet?
Yes, she's come downstairs. She's sat in the most out of the way place possible, and the burly looking woman, she's sitting with her, and the slight woman is over gathering some of the food into 3 handkerchiefs and tying the handkerchiefs up with the food in.
Racer would walk over to her table, bow, a shallow bow, and just notify her, "Milady, we will be traveling on the coach, on the roof of the coach with you on the way to Altdorf. I thought you should be made aware."
Well, I suppose you're of some use. I mean, after all, you dealt with that thing last night, so yeah. At least you're something nice to look at. You're the friend.
Well,
beastly,
yes,
and they smell so awful.
they do indeed.
Not
They-
that you
they-
smell
they
very
could.
nice. I have to say, you're very mossy.
Yeah, it has
I shall
been
have you know that
far
I'm
too long.
attractive.
It's been far too long since I've had a bath. That is true. I will not. I will not tell you that you are wrong.
Hmm.
But that is
All
all
right.
I had to tell, my lady. Should you need our have a need of our help during the journey, simply rap on the roof.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you. The Brittoni has come downstairs now, and he's sitting close to the ladies, but with himself. And yeah, he's getting on with himself.
Stefan comes to consciousness suddenly and brutally with the realization, free food.
What was that you were saying about food?
Downstairs, free food.
Well, I just single-handedly moved the bed and Paulus in it.
Paulus will roll out and go, "What was that? Were the breakfast pies? What the breakfast pies?" Pull my breeches
We
back
gotta
on.
go now. Don't even worry about the breeches.
Yeah, having
You
spent the
notice
last
that you
10
don't
minutes
see
getting the armor
gentleman
off.
with the pig, or the dwarf who was selling his wares last night, and the halflings, salmonella's pies, they've gone as well.
Yes. And by the way, Racer did not have any of Salmonella's pies because salmonella is something he tries to avoid whenever possible.
I don't know, they're a nice
Coward.
couple.
You coward. Yeah, I will get up the stairs and tuck into breakfast. I'll be like, sorry, Gustav. Remember last night when that thing? I fucked my dagger at it real hard, and I haven't seen it since. Any sign of it?
Who are you talking to again?
Gustav, the barman.
Okay.
I threw overhand my knife at that. Hit it in the noggin.
Oh,
I think I killed it.
picked it up. It looks like it's burnt a little bit, but there's like a burnt mark around, like a ring around it.
That'll do. Thank you so much for looking after that. I really appreciate it. Also, fantastic breakfast. Who done it? Who done the cooking? Was it you?
Oh no, it's just something we bought in off
it's
the Goodfellows.
Brilliant. Honestly, yeah, it's fantastic. Best breakfast I've had since yesterday.
Okay, a bit out of character. Players who ate at least one of the pies last night. Okay. So you three, you have got a 1 point extra wound for today. They were really nice and really filling.
Oh, while
Just feel a little bit energized.
while
just had
Turpin is
ale.
distracting Gustav, I'm going to put as many sausages in my satchel as I can.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Like, you know,
Right,
no, I don't
just-
mean like your regular sausages. I'm talking about the long-term cured meat style sausages.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
that's
just,
why
just to clarify, you are attempting to smuggle some sausages.
Yes.
In his trousers.
No, in my satchel.
Okay.
a sausage sack, if you will.
Sausage salad. Yeah.
Gustav, might I ask about the ale? Where's it come from? Where's it in from? Are you brewing it yourself? Because you
Oh,
could
no,
save a lot of
we-
money that way.
We buy it off a couple of dwarven peddlers who come by quite
Right.
regular.
Well, let me suggest a couple of things to you. And I'm going to take out a notepad and start talking about the growing hops upon the land he has.
Can
Okay.
I fit a wheel of cheese in here as well?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to stretch a little bit or squash the cheese, but
Alric would
it
have
might
appeared by this
imprint a
point.
few sausages on the cheese.
No,
But
actually, the cheese would make my paper smell bad. So we might just shove a loaf or two in there instead.
okay. So you've all had breakfast. You're
Oh,
ready
yeah.
to leave.
Can I actually ask the barman if I can take some with me?
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't do stealing. That's bad.
Polus is just going to take some with him. He's Sir Polus now. He assumes people will give him stuff. I don't know. It's not quite sure how it's meant to work.
At one point, Racer would have asked Paulus, "Isn't impersonating a member of your noble class above your station usually punishable by death?"
Well, you know how ancestry works and things like that. It's all convoluted and confused. There's like how many % chance would you say, Stefan?
Wait, hang on. Are you not really a knight?
99% chance, Stefan. There's a 99% chance that I'm probably maybe a little bit noble.
My fault. I thought he was a knight. Why? How has he got retainers from the elves and dwarves if he's not a knight?
But not his retainers.
He is our Paulus is our guide.
Retainers insofar as they retain around me as I guide them to Altdorf.
I'm not gonna lie, I did think his skull measurements were a bit off.
Oh, I am a little embarrassed. I just assumed you were a knight. But we're leaving, so no more needs to be said about that.
Yeah, looking at it now, you haven't got enough chins. You need at least 3 more.
And you fit inside
knight.
your armor breastplate thing.
Well, it's leather, but you know, I like to.
The only knight I ever knew, he would wear a breastplate, but he had to have the sides quite loose because
on account of the gout, right?
Yeah.
Racer looks down at Ulrich and just quietly says, "We're traveling with a false nobleman, a wannabe demonologist, and a halfling thief and murderer."
You don't say things like that. That gets wizards burned. I don't want to be a demonologist. That's a bad thing.
Right. You just want books of demonology. I understand.
I want books of magic. Yes, I don't want to be a demonologist. I want to be able to stop the demonologists. I think you're doing a great job. You're both doing a great job. Just, you obviously have learning. Maybe you could teach me some stuff about the magic of your people to make up for the book burning. That'd be great.
He's just a bit cranky this morning on account of he tended to his own wounds. He's got too much blood in his system. If I'd done it right, he'd be a lot happier.
But
some of those pies would have helped.
Exactly.
I'll just say to Racer, no wonder these people are buggered.
Now, aren't you supposed to be climbing up on top of a stagecoach, Master Dwarf?
I believe that was the gambit.
Yeah. I will just take my time and clamber up on the stage.
Get on my horse and look at you do it.
Okay. You go outside and you go over to the stagecoach that is still where it was where you come in last night.
Right, of course, because the driver is still asleep at the table, isn't he? I might go rouse them while you try climb up on the coach, give you a bit of time. Anyone want to come with? On account of I am quite small.
I actually have skill in climbing, so.
Well, you go ahead then, sir.
Climbing average roll, please, sir.
Do I get any bonus for taking a bit longer than I would normally?
Yeah, if you take your time, you get another plus 10.
Do I get an extra plus 10? I guess modifier?
Yeah, 10 for under modifier.
Oh, hell no. I'm fortune pointing that.
Okay.
Oh, man. Racer's just standing back watching all of this, just laughing.
I hope everyone else is going to have to make a bloody climb test.
I imagine the
rolling
is
on,
biblical.
You're rolling on and you're trying to sort of
the
get
springs
in
the chassis. When you pull up, it leans over and it's going up an incline.
But then you realise
saunter over with my horse.
If you go back round the back, then and have a go again. It's probably easier, or round at the front where the coachman would sit.
Racer does offer to give you
Make
a
me an
push-up.
easy check this time, Roger.
Oh my god! When you're rolling badly, you're rolling badly.
You are rolling badly.
Are there any horses actually hitched up to this thing?
Everyone else
there's 2 horses
if you want,
there, but they're not hitched up now.
You can stand
Everyone
on
else
the
better
back
have
of
to
my
roll for
horse
this as well.
and climb on that way.
You'd have to be able to get on your horse.
You do seem to have a lot of thick mud on the bottom of your boot. They almost, where you're from, they call it karmic mud, from where you've gone out into the night and thrown a dead body into the undergrowth. But yeah, this mud seems to be very slippy.
Scrape my boots on the thing.
You can have another attempt now if you want. You're
You
lucky
can
that
do
there's
it,
not many
Ulrich.
people out watching.
Racer's watching the whole thing.
Yeah,
Fine.
so
Hey.
you scrape a
Almost-
little bit more mud off on the first step, and then you sort of climb.
Oh yeah, so the entire outer of it is now very slippery to make everyone
Yeah.
else's life harder.
Paulus
I'm gonna get
will
the
say to
horses
Stefan,
Out
"Hey,
of the stable.
yeah, don't forget to write that bit down for the Chronicle."
Oh, yes, Chronicle. Let's leave that until after he's decided he doesn't want to burn me.
Do you mind, are the two guys still at the table, like head down? The drivers.
Yeah, you start sort of wobbling them and things, and they sort of stir, and both seem to have one eye open. Light. Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is about 9 people outside, very pissed off at you. Many of whom are armed to the teeth.
What time is it?
It's late, sir.
Gone up yet?
Oh, it's well past. Well past.
They both get up from the table and they'll sort of stumble out.
So there is
one
the
of them
matter
has
of the bet we made
what's
last
that?
night, just before you was falling asleep. We was playing cards. You don't remember cards?
No.
And then we made a bet. I bet that you'd sleep through sunup. And you said, not on your date. You said, Gunner here, he never sleeps through sunup.
Do me a favour, will you? Yeah. Shut your pile.
Oh, it was worth a try, wasn't it, sir? It was worth a try. Come on. And I got slapped on the
And he
ass.
sort of pushes mask up and he feels for the door and he opens the door and they both go out and start to link up the horses.
Can I be in with the horses, just sort of calming them and getting them ready to go? I've got animal care rather than animal handling, but I've also got an animal affinity, so
Okay, very
they'll
nice.
behave and I'll get them in a good mood.
Tavern Crawler had got an animal affinity.
Yeah, we
I
know.
bet he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah. So you did have something in common. Yeah, so it takes a while, but everything gets put in the luggage, gets put on the back. Can everybody make me, please, a easy climbing roll to climb up the stagecoach?
Impressive success. Suck it, Ulrich.
The halfling and the elf literally race up there. In fact, the elf almost skips off the floor and lands like halfway up the coach and then sort of leaps up again. Yeah.
That's what I was saying, Racer.
Ulrich,
I
Ulrich,
feel
did you
like
see
an
that?
elf now.
Did you see that?
If the
That's how
halfling
you get
actually
on.
said "suck it," I am going to push him off.
Do it. Suck it, Ulrich.
And
I didn't see you climb, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known. But I'll get up and play completely ignorant. Oh, that was easy, wasn't it? That was very easy. Yeah, those steps. Did you see the steps on the way up? They have a ladder.
Oh, I'm gonna look at the side of the coach.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at the roof.
Yeah, it looks very high.
It really high, and I'm gonna look really pathetic.
Do you want us to lower you a rope? and
Stefan,
pull
can I
you up?
hold my little hand out to you?
The Bretonian opens the door. Master Scholar, the lady says that she doesn't mind if you sit in the coach.
Oh, thank you very much, my lady. Honoured.
She also said that she'd rather that you not talk if you sit in it. Okay, climbing. And the guys, start moving the horses and slowly the coach leaves.
Look at this.
Gustav
Halfling.
comes out and waves you all off. Bye, my friends. Take care on the road.
Racer will definitely make sure that he tells Paulus and Ulrich and Turpin what Gustav warned him about, so that they're aware that we may run into trouble on the road. Very specific trouble, and who it might entail.
Racer,
Oh.
I don't know if you've
Oh.
noticed, but they've left the halfling, the elf, and the dwarf on top of the coach. It seems a little bit like, what's the word for that? There is a word for that, isn't there? Like,
I would say fortunate. The open air is much better than the stench inside that coach packed with humans.
It's true.
an optimist. I like it. I like it. I like the stitching what you've done on that cut, but I will say you would have benefited from a half inch and at least a dozen more leeches on account of your flowing with blood.
I honestly believe that the halflings and humans of the Empire should have all died out long ago with what you call medicine. But
we haven't, so there must be something to it, eh?
yes, you all breed like rabbits.
We're alive in spite of it,
Exactly.
not because of it.
Yeah. It's called an immune system, sir.
Paulus
So-
is going to have his sword sort of out the
5
front
minutes
on the
up the
saddle.
road, it starts to leather it down.
As expected.
There's even cracks of lightning and the sound of thunder goes off. Yeah, it's a real sort of storm that you're riding
Shield
into.
above the head.
Racer actually takes his cloak off and leans back to enjoy the rain.
Hippie. Sorry. Yeah, and you bumpily go down this road.
Yeah, I'm going to look out of the
Rain.
window so I can enjoy the rain.
I'll be
Just
nice.
gonna
I'll kind
sit
of
in it.
come on, turnip. This shield's big enough.
You're very kind, sir. Very, very kind. Sir, I have many questions about Dwarven Constitution that I may put upon you on this boring journey, if you don't mind.
Ulrich,
Kind of
if you would
sighs
let
to himself, regretting it already.
Ulrich,
Paulus,
if you'd
you
let
riding
Mother
next to the coach or in front or behind it?
Next to, but I was just going to say, can I ride in front a little bit and try
course you
and
can.
scout out
Okay.
what lays ahead?
Yeah, he'll answer
far
the
in front?
halflings' questions.
How far in front?
How far in front? Not
50
too far.
yards?
Still within, well within ear and eyesight.
Okay.
And just sort of, so maybe I can catch something along the road before the coach, in time to get the coach to stop potentially.
So, as you're travelling out in front, you go around a bend and you notice up ahead there is a crouched figure. He's crouched over something, but you can't make out what it is. And the rain seems to be slowing now.
I'll call it out behind me as well.
Okay, as you call it out, it hears you, this thing. And it looks back. And looking back at you is a face that you recognise from your cavalry unit. It's a guy called Rolf. And he was kicked out for stealing from his comrades. And before he got kicked out, he had this rather sort of irritating skin condition. And it'd do nothing but scratch and scratch and scratch. And it'd make his face
Scratchy
bleed.
Rolf, we used to call him.
Pardon?
Scratchy Rolf, we used to call him.
Yeah.
Sounds like contact dermatitis.
Yeah.
Actually, very much so does.
Boy, the
That'll be
halfling.
Paulus's first thought. Like, actually, I know someone for that now.
And he looked up at you and he looks to the side and you realise that he's got a couple of human fingers sticking out of his mouth. and he comes charging. He starts to run towards you, and these two fingers spit out of his mouth as he just comes running towards you, screaming.
Oh, if we see this, we'll be hopping down.
When you say screaming, is he going?
Oh, he spat them out.
As he comes charging
This
down the
will
road.
be another situation where Paulus just goes, oh, bollocks, pulls his sword out.
Okay. He charges you. You notice that Paulus has stopped and he seems to make himself ready for a fight as this thing's charging him. I take it you're about 50 yards down the road in front of the thing. So you can see him squaring up to something that's running down to him. You can't really see what it is because he is in the way of you and this target. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We could put them away for now. Okay.
Are you charging this?
What?
Are you charging a poison?
I can't technically fight
He
on
comes-
horseback.
You
ride a
come to ground
horse.
and he comes running at you, and as he gets close to you, it's obvious that he's moving quicker than you, and he jumps at you and makes an attack.
I will try to put my sword between myself and him.
Remember, pointy end towards them.
Well, you got a pretty good chance of beating that.
He leaps at you.
We'll see. Just a normal challenging roll?
Yeah.
Challenging it. Oh.
So are there any more of these re-rolls about?
You've got
Otherwise I'll
fortune
use
points,
a
don't you?
fortune point. Yeah. I'll use a fortune point. Go on, Polis. Do something heroic for once.
Oh.
There
Hey,
you go.
Okay, yeah. He jumps at you, and you sort of use your horse skills and sort of manage to sort of block him and sort of knock him behind you. If you would like to make your master move.
I think move-wise, I'll probably get down from the horse
Okay.
onto shore footing to square off with him properly.
Okay.
Rolf, I know someone for contact dermatitis. He's over there. I don't know if I know anyone for eating fingers.
Just to be clear, Lewis, you pointed the mutant in our direction. That was.
Yes.
Make me,
Yes, I
please,
did.
a cool roll, please.
Here we go.
It's traditional.
Oh, nice.
Okay. You
He's all
notice
out
the
of wheat.
skin is literally rotting on him and it's hanging from him. And this patch of skin that used to be really irritable, it's down to the bone underneath, where he's literally scratched all of his flesh off.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit him again.
How
At some
many
point.
success rolls did it? 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you needed to make 2.
Good job.
Okay. Make me a attack roll then, Paulus.
With one advantage.
Scratchy Rolf. I never really liked you. The advantage.
Oof.
Oh, nice.
Oh, go Paulus.
14 damage.
14 damage.
That'll
Okay.
hurt.
Shit, the bed. Okay.
Better than wetting
So
your
you
pants.
strike at him with your sword.
Right through the body.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you strike him and you hit him squarely in the left arm, but the quality of his actual flesh and body is that as soon as you hit it, his arm breaks off and your sword sort of digs deep into his rib cage, and he sort of tries to move himself along your sword a little bit, but then he stops moving and just sort of leans back without moving anyone. It lifeless.
I'll look at my sword and my arm and go, didn't realise I was that strong. Maybe I should have arm wrestled that big man.
We're going back to the pub.
We're crawling to the pub, if you will.
I need to see a man about a pig and an arm wrestle.
Okay. The coach catches up to where you are, and you see Paulus standing there with this horrific thing at his feet, and he seems to be cleaning his blade off at this point.
Paulus, I see you.
Getting
Dead
a approving
mutant.
nod from the dwarf.
Yeah, and the elf too. For once, they're in a complete agreement. They're like, well struck.
He appeared to be eating something over there, and based on the fingers that flew my way,
It sounds like a job for me. I'm going to jump down from the coach and run over to check if the person's still alive.
Sure. Good luck with that.
Are there any more of them?
He is dead, but he has quite an interesting skin condition.
No, not the guy with the fingers in his mouth. Not Ralph. The
Source
thing
of the
Ralph was
fingers.
eating.
Fingerless.
The
body that he
person
was
Ralph
eating.
was getting the fingers from.
You notice that half of his body has been eaten.
I'm still going to try and get a pulse.
Okay. Yeah. No.
We lost another one. And I'm going to turn back to everyone and just shake my head solemnly. I did everything I could, lads.
Yes, we did not expect you to heal the corpse, but good try.
As you're standing there, you hear a bit of shouting, and then there's a sound of a large crashing and breaking of wood, again round the bend of the road. And then you can hear the sound of fighting.
Turpin's going to put his hand over his mouth and point in the direction.
Cue the sound of running dwarf.
Yeah,
it's just completely
clank,
stop
clank,
talking
clank,
over there.
You see,
Racer.
Go on, what's Racer doing?
Racer's running right next to Ulrich, and he's just looking at it. He's like, "Is that as fast as you can go?"
Can I run back? So I know the two
quite
caravan
nicely
guards are
encapsulated.
incredibly hungover. Are either of them armed with a ballistic weapon?
But yeah, but we'll stay here and guard the lady.
Right, you won't be needing that. So I'm going to take it is.
One of them is holding it.
Right, okay. I'll bring it back.
No.
Right, okay. That's fair enough. Okay, right. Stefan!
I open the door. What's wrong?
It happened again. Come on.
Almost
So I should turn to the Bretonian chap and say, "It sounds like they need us to battle."
Oh no! I should be staying here. I've not brought my combat clothing with me.
Of course. And I'll get out of the coach.
You can have my dagger if you want. So I'm just going to throw anything I have.
Follow him down the road. Slower,
right, okay.
Weaker, more pathetically.
As you crest the bend of the road, you notice that what looks like another coach, but it is on its side, and there's human-like creatures on top of it, and They look like they're fighting things, but they don't like they don't look like they're getting much resistance back.
So either side of this melee are any of them obviously mutants or brigands, or is it impossible to tell?
As you get close, you can hear a noise.
Oh no!
Does it sound remarkably
Consequences
like
of
that
our
guy
guy
with a
actions.
big- He hasn't got a hat on, but his head is that of a cone.
His head is literally conical.
Yes.
He's a mutant.
That explains why he needed the hat. I did
Laser.
say it was a tasteless hat. I said, didn't
You
I?
did.
There's another one that
Yeah.
looks like he's got green skin.
Oh, yeah, that would be a mutant.
And then there's another one with goat legs.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
And there's one that's got a dog as a face.
Like a whole dog.
A whole dog face.
Yeah.
It's got a normal human skull and then a chihuahua on the
Where
front of his
his
head.
nose is the tail of the dog, and it just becomes no. He's got
I mean, that's a rather
dog's
unfortunate placement for the mouth right there.
face.
Racer will charge the nearest one of them.
Okay.
I love the idea of a mutant whose face does actually turn into like the front half of a dog. That's amazing.
Just legs and everything.
Human dogtopede.
I mean, if we find one, can Turnip try and separate them?
Of course, Turnip would have to try and separate them. He took a Hippocratic oath.
The only ethical thing to do.
We'll save the dog and kill the mutant.
Stab him in his heart. And who's the other?
Yeah,
These
no.
are
Polus will say, "Stay here, Esmeralda," and leave his horse behind.
okay. So you meet them in combat. They also move towards you. And you notice that there's one at the back who looks like he's carrying a crossbow.
Oh, bugger.
And he seems to be moving around, looking down at the floor. But again, he's further back near where the coach is. These guys have moved up to sort of face you. There's 4 of them, and there's 4 of you. And did you get out the coach, Ben?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Turpin
But-
shouted for me, so I went.
Okay.
Follow it. I tried to get the Bretonian guy to come as well.
Attempting to get there first, or are you sort of keeping pace so everybody can keep up with you? Or
Oh, I would stay with the group. I mean, I
Okay.
understand tactics enough not to.
okay. So you get there first. What are you doing?
I am going to stick my rapier, hopefully, into the throat of the nearest mutant.
It's a classic move.
But with my rolls recently, more than likely I'm going to fall down. But we're going to check and see anyway.
So you get to the cone-headed one.
Nice.
Oh, please, someone kill him.
Where am I? No. That's, where is that?
Why don't you turn him into something more unnatural? Turn him into like a frog or something.
Do you
That's what
think
wizards
Wizards
do.
Apprentices can do?
Well, actually, to be fair, you're probably more likely to turn into a
Just
frog.
let me do something quickly. I've just realised this.
Then we
Not
can
got
make
anything
another
to
pie.
attack with. In fact, no, that's cool. I'll just roll their thingy, and it's weapon 7. Okay, right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right. Okay, you meet up with Conehead.
I lunge in with the rapier.
Okay, swing.
And bloody hell. I will use one of my rerolls.
Okay.
I have 2. I will use one. I can't believe it. It's just unbelievable. There we go.
There we go.
Critical hit.
That'll do it.
What a... Right. Roll to hit. Oh my fucking word!
Okay, -4, so that's 16, 20, 19 points of damage.
Okay,
He's unconscious.
he looks
And he's
wounded
unconscious.
anyway. Yeah, right. And he looks in a bad way already. You stick. Yeah, so the rapier goes straight through his body, and the hilt of your rapier, you hit him that hard that your hilt goes and breaks his rib cage, and he sort of looks at you and coughs blood, and literally stops moving, and
With a
goes lifeless.
Racer takes one step back and pulls his blade back, and then just sticks up one finger back towards Ulrich and just says, "That's one."
Okay, next is Josh.
So I heard tell of a guy with a crossbow, and that has worried me. Is it possible that I could sneak up behind him? Because, I mean, there's a lot of fracas at the front.
You can attempt it, but it'll take you probably another 1 or 2 rounds to get to him.
It's probably still a good move, though, right? If I
Or
can
just run behind the dwarf.
Come on,
Jab him.
Stabby Jim. Go and shank him
Yeah.
up.
I'm going to go, like, try and sneak through the hedgerow or something.
Okay, make me a stealth roll then, please.
Yeah, ooh, not great.
Gosh, you've got to get your hands on a sling, by the way.
Yeah, totally. I'm hoping
In the hands of
that
a
someone-
halfling, they're lethal.
Impressive failure.
Cool. So yeah, you've hit some undergrowth, and yeah, you're going through it, and yeah, you're hidden. Okay, right.
I mean, I could try and reroll it, but
So that was Aaron. Roger,
Paulus, I believe.
and,
Unless it's them.
say again.
It's either Paulus or them.
Yeah, they're moving. They're moving first.
Dastardly villains.
So first of all, on Roger, you have got Mr. T.
I pity the fool that attacks the dwarf.
Okay, so the one who is fighting you,
Is it whole dog face?
where the fucking hell is he? He has a little tiny head.
Pinhead.
Yeah, on a big body. He looks, yeah, pretty fucked up.
Damn, must be my actual nemesis.
Okay. Okay. Right. So he strikes it out at you. First, he runs at you, lifts his weapon up,
And fail.
and he seems to forget where he is. And
I fail by the same, but I've got a better.
he starts wandering off. Okay.
Oh, it's an
Um,
intelligence test.
So
Sorry.
the chap on Ben. So one's running into you, Ben, and he is Mr. M. Mr. M. And this chap is the one with Oh, he's the one with the dog face.
Dogface
Okay.
man.
Okay, so he comes running in to you. Howling. And he swings at you. Hold on a second, I can do that with him. Sorry about this. There we are.
I'm going to feel
Oof.
that. What have I got, Press?
Whatever you
Go on combat. It's probably the easiest way of doing it.
I'm on combat.
And then click
Yeah,
on the
no.
weapon.
What, my weapon?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're basically like parrying or blocking
Parrying.
it.
And
Unless
is
you're
it
better
a
at
challenging
dodging.
roll.
Yes.
Unless you're better at dodging.
Unless I'm better at dodging, which let's find out. That's a skill. I am better at dodging.
I thought you said dogging there, because technically you are dogging.
Yeah, I look like we'll go for the dodge. Oh,
Ooh,
Okay.
you got hit for 9.
9 points of damage.
right.
At the
I go down then.
Well, you minus your toughness and any
Yes.
armor you've got.
I haven't got any armor.
Okay.
So you
What's
minus
your-
your toughness bonus.
Minus my toughness bonus, so that's 2.
So you take
So I'm
7.
not down. I'm just down by 7.
This,
Oh, I've got the extra wound as well.
this dog-like fellow, he looks like he's about to drop.
Well, here's hoping.
Um,
Is it my go?
no, there's just one more to go, and that
Okay.
is on Lewis. And this chap
I recognise this one as well.
is Eric, his
Oh.
name is.
That's what happened
And-
to my unit.
He has the legs of a goat. And he swings his goat legs at you. No, he doesn't. He swings his sword at you. Oof. This is very unlike me, so I do apologise.
No, you were beating us up pretty good last week too.
It is important to remind players in a WFRP game that they are going to get the shit kicked out of them.
All of this is temporary. Just two
Unless
shot
they have
blasts.
a big fucking hammer that just smashes everything up.
The mutant still actually wins.
Yep.
Higher base skill.
Ooh.
But it
I
would just
rolled
be
a 1.
So you take 7 damage.
No, I think they counter each other out. Oh no,
Oh,
they
do
do.
Yeah.
7.
Minus your toughness and armor.
Okay, so
Armory.
the next person to go is Lewis with your 34.
Get revenge, Lewis. Break his legs.
Come
He
on,
looks
Lewis.
really badly damaged as well. He looks like he's been beaten up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just flat out try and smash him in the face because that hurt. Not as much as he'd hoped it had. It would,
The
but
old smash in the face gambit,
it
eh?
hurt.
Yeah, go for it.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Roger, I was thinking that exact sentence.
Clearly, you have studied your Agrippa.
Okay, so you hit him in the body with your sword, and it crunches through his rib cage again. Yeah, he's in a bad way. And again, he falls to the ground, lifeless.
Lamb shanks for dinner.
Oh, God.
Mr. Dwarf,
Do not eat the mutant.
I'll charge the one that's kind of aimlessly wandering away from me.
okay.
Oh, I didn't actually add my advantage on, weirdly. So it's actually 3 success levels.
Well, he's not even trying to oppose that. So again, where did you get him? The body. Yeah, you stick your axe into his shoulder and down into the body. And your axe basically comes out near his groin as he's virtually chopped in two. And last but not least is young wizard himself. You're a wizard,
Right.
Ben.
I am. Now, this
Blood,
guy
blood,
has upset me by hurting me a lot. So he is getting tased. He is
Yes.
getting very tased as I cast shock.
Ooh, what does that do?
He's already in contact with me.
Yeah.
So it's not helpful. Where's the shock spell? I'm going to have to look it up in the book. Just for some reason, the deets aren't there.
Target receives 1 stunned condition.
But then there's the extra successes as well, isn't there? So
Do they
it's,
do extra stuns or do they do extra wounds?
it says challenge number 0, range touch, target 1, duration instant, target received 1 stunned condition. Doesn't say anything else.
You have to
That's
channel.
it. No, you don't
Nope.
have to channel. It's just a stun spell.
Okay, he stands there and he's frying a little bit then. Okay.
That's
So
a shame. I
it's-
was kind of hoping that those extra success levels would do some damage, but never mind.
It's back to the top, and the top happens to be Racer.
So Racer looks over at where Stefan has just stunned that mutant, but is still looking pretty worse for the wear. And
Yep.
he will charge in and strike at that mutant.
Okay.
Not a good roll, but
It's a freebie because he's stunned, and I'm not going to let things. So he's shocked at
I
the
mean,
moment.
it's a nice roll.
And again, you take his arm off, and it follows into his body, and he falls over. These are weak as piss. And he does indeed fall over. Mr. Halfling, you carry on your sneaking.
Yeah, is there much distance? Could I throw something at the guy from here?
You probably reach him next turn. This round sort of sneaking. At the pace you're moving at, you'll get to
My
him next.
fear, it's like I have that like policeman's fear of like chasing after someone down a dark alley
Yeah.
and actually catching them because my weapon skills is 22.
Okay.
So I want to get somewhere behind him that I can.
Oh, that's terrifying. I thought
Munch
I was
something
bad
out.
in a fight.
Okay. So yeah, you sort of getting behind him, but again, you'll be there next round.
Yeah, cool. Just to be clear, I ain't getting close.
No, so it's the guy with the crossbow's turn now, and he turns towards you, raises his crossbow and fires.
Be what I would do.
At least he's shooting a bush.
Created reloading crossbow. What the fuck?
I think you have to tick loaded and
Oh.
then fire it.
No, his crossbow's empty. You have to reload it for.
Oh! And
I
this
am very
crossbow,
small.
it literally parts your hair, and you realise that you've seen him. That he's seen you, should I say? Okay,
Good job you weren't the
Jesus.
human. That would have hit you right in the chest.
Lewis.
Guts, right? Yeah.
Also, in hindsight, I've realised I can actually fight quite well from horseback because I have Rough Rider as well. But still,
I did think when you got off your horse, but I thought no.
I was confused
That's what
because
it's
you're a
doing.
cavalryman.
yeah, but
That horse is valuable. He doesn't want to put it at risk.
yeah, precisely.
Could be
If
more
the
of a
horse
dragoon.
cops it, I have to walk everywhere. I'm gonna bolt it towards the crossbowman whilst he's firing crossbows. Well,
Okay.
bolt.
That was my plan all along. Distracted with my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run into it. You'll be there next turn. Okay. Roger.
Because I've already charged forward again, am I close enough to the crossbowman?
No, he's quite a way behind. He's about where the coach went over.
Okay, all right. Well, I will sprint forward again.
Okay, you'll be
Straight
again
towards
there
him.
next turn. Last but not least, Ben.
Dogface guy is dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a rapier wound through his arm, through his chest, and yeah.
Right. The only thing I can do is try and cast another spell then, I'm afraid. So
Okay, go for
sorry
it.
for this flagrant use of magic, everybody, but
No,
I'm going
it's
to
excellent.
dart
love
the
it.
crossbow guy.
Okay.
I'm going to use my reroll on that. Yay! There we go.
Okay. What are you casting?
I'm casting dart,
Okay.
and dart
3 points of damage.
Magic missile with a damage of +0, so 3 points of damage.
Okay.
And I think my dart looks like a little
Does armor
blast of
come into that, or
electricity.
does it not? Is it just toughness bonus?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
In which case, it would be any soak he's got,
Right.
but he always takes one.
Yeah.
Dart is a fantastic spell for robbing people.
You
of
notice
advantage.
as the dart hits him, it sort of sparks, and it looks like he's got scaly green skin.
Hey, Ben, you also add your. I thought you also add your willpower bonus to that damage, so it's 3 plus your willpower bonus.
Oh, well, that's quite handy then, because my willpower bonus is +3 more.
Plus 3 more. Okay.
And it's only
And-
1 point away from being 4 more.
And the damage is reduced by toughness and armor.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Aaron.
Thank you. So how much damage did you do altogether? 7?
6, 7.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Right.
No, 6, because it's 3 success levels and it's a +0 spell.
Okay. So next it's Aaron, but you are back where Ben was, or you're back with Ben. So he's just cast this dart spell out.
So Racer would sprint towards the crossbowman.
Excellent. So you'll be there next turn. Okay. He's already aimed at the halfling, so I'm sorry, Mr. Halfling. He
Did I
seems
like go
to-
ahead of him last turn, no?
Yes, you did actually. Do apologise, Mr. Halfling.
I see. More than just a pretty face. I'm going to munt something at him. In my trappings, I have a dagger, a healing draft, a bandage, a pouch, a sling bag, but no sling.
That's a satchel. That's a,
Yeah.
You're also in the
right.
forest.
So I'm going to munt my dagger at him as hard as I can.
Okay.
Absolutely wanging at him. And here we go. Hang on. Sorry.
Go
I'll
for
just close my character sheet because I'm a genius. Here we go. Hup. Hup.
oh,
Oh,
No, we're re-rolling that. That's the re-roll.
hey.
Okay.
He's going to attempt to. He'll just catch it in the face.
Can I use a fortune point to add a success level to that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, cool. So it's +2.
So it's +2. What's your strength?
My strength is 28.
So strength bonus 2.
2, 4, 8. Okay, right, lovely.
he's got to do a reload test to reload his
He's
crossbow.
going to. Well, you're. Yes, he does. I thought you were in melee. You're not in melee. Are you? You just chucked it.
Oh God, no. I just discovered I have the talent field dressing, which is actually makes my heal skill viable.
Welcome to
So-
my world, Josh.
Nobody panic is what I'm saying.
How do you?
Character action.
So it's just an extended.
It just takes
so it's
one-
his. Yeah, he's got to get 1 success on his ranged attack to reload his crossbow.
So yeah, it's his ranged crossbow skill.
Yeah,
Okay.
he does.
Oh yeah, he reloads it like a champ.
Yep. He knows
Do I
what he's
use
doing.
that? Do I still use that for the attack roll, or?
No, I think since it's only reload 1 for a normal crossbow, that's your minor action, and then you still get your. If it was reload 2, I think that would be your. I think it's your whole action.
Oh, okay. So again, this bolt goes flying over your head. Brushes past your ear, actually.
Oh gosh, marginal failure. That was close, eh?
That was very close.
I don't need to
Okay.
visit a barber for a while.
So Race is gone. He's gone. And it is now Lewis.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go flying in with sword in
Okay.
hand and
Go for it.
attack.
He's going to attempt to dodge.
What a rascal.
Do I have any advantage from those previous?
You
Get an
did you
advantage.
charge or were you charged?
He's charging.
Yeah, you would have got one
Yeah.
for winning, but you would lose
Yep.
one for the round you're out of combat.
Yep.
But you do
I
gain
just
one
count
for
as
charging.
charge. Okay.
Oh, see how he does though.
He may dodge worse.
Try and re-roll it.
Did
Oh,
not.
3 success levels.
No flies on him.
Jim, you are on fire tonight.
I am. I feel kind of godlike.
Yes, God, if you will.
Okay,
You made an elf
Holding him up.
bleed.
Mr. Ulrich, you come screaming in with your axe.
At least you outnumber him now.
Ooh.
Oh.
Look at it,
Oh.
showing off. He puts his crossbow in the way.
So it's only 16 damage.
Yeah.
I think you're allowed to say it, Rog, on an astounding success. Go on.
Okay, so he
It's not
has.
a good enough target.
He's got a toughness of 3, and he's also got armor of 3 for his scaly green skin. But unfortunately, that takes it down to 10 points of damage, of which he's got 10 points of damage left. So, yeah, you come flying in with your axe, silently, it has to be said, and you
Not
bury
just
your
silently.
axe.
It's a lot of clanking.
Yeah,
Silent but deadly.
within his right leg, and the battle seems over for now.
We're getting good at this.
Racer runs up and goes, fair hit, Ulrich. 2-2 on this one.
I think I got at least one of those. I am fairly confident. And I just pull the dagger out of his leg.
I'm going to sit down on the ground and bleed.
Right, let's set up triage, gentlemen. One at a time.
Stefan, you're meant to be writing this down.
I'm going to check over the carriage for.
It bit me in the
Survivors.
shoulder. That's my writing arm.
And I'll check over this crossbowman to see
physician.
what he's got.
I'm gonna tend to Stefan. If Stefan's okay with that.
Yeah.
So
Confidence
you
and faith
check,
in my
you check the
friend.
carriage, and it looks like there's someone gone through the side window, and then the coach is sort of toppled up on him, and it's literally squashed his head. The drivers are both on the floor, and they've been hacked to bits.
Check their pulse, Rog.
Yeah. And there's 3 other bodies. There's one who's got a couple of crossbow bolts in his back near the edge of the forest, and there's a couple also near to the carriage.
I'll start checking them over to see if they've got anything on them.
Okay. Anybody
Tell
else?
us who they are.
So which ones are you checking? Which one are you checking, Rog?
The ones around the carriage first.
Okay. Anybody else checking?
Yeah, I mean, Racer would be checking. He would start with the mutant crossbowman, and then he would range out and check for other
So
possible
the mutant
passengers.
crossbowman, as you check him, you notice that he has got a bit of a bag on him.
Is there a sling?
He has got 2 gold crowns, 3 silver shillings. I've just realised, by the way, there wasn't that much money on that young man. I'll give you some money, but I realised it's at the top. It says 1 gold piece, 20 silver. It's basically what it breaks down into. So I have been a bit dim. Okay. He has
So he
3
had a
silver
gold
shillings
piece.
and 13 brass pennies. He also has a sword, and he has a silver locket and a ring.
Jim, inside the silver locket, is there just a picture of a dog? Okay, the dog face.
No,
Oh, no, it's the back of a dog.
yeah. So Have you got all that down?
Yeah, I've got all that down. We'll just add it to the party treasure sheet too. So Racer's not going to keep it for
if you look at if you go onto the section where it says journal and you travel all the way down to the bottom, there should be one called party trappings.
Got it. I'll put it in there.
Yeah, you should be able. Everybody should be able to alter that. Right. Yeah. So that's all there. Okay, Roger. You check. Yeah, there's a chap, and he's been stabbed to death. Anybody else checking the bodies?
Yeah,
I'm
check
going
the
to sort
coachman.
of poke at them from afar with my sword and see if they
Okay.
have anything of use.
How about Mr. Physician? Are you checking any?
I mean, I did go through the hedgerow, so if there's anything in the hedgerow, on my way. But my main concern is that Stefan is bleeding a lot.
Okay, you've gone over to Stefan.
Yes.
Okay.
To do a bit of bandaging.
Okay, so you can deal with Stefan if you want. Do you want to make a physician's roll on it?
Okay, so here's where, before I make this, so the field dressing skill allows me to, if I have a bandage, which I do, reverse the result of my roll and allows me to get a maximum of 1 success level. So worst case scenario, I make it worse, but middle case scenario, make it better. Best case scenario, narrative is amazing, right? Yes. This bad. Hey, here we go. Would you say, Jim, it's a challenging hero?
Yes. Yeah.
I knew you would, Jim. All right, here we go. 68 makes it an 86, even worse. Go. Fortune. I'm gonna fortune.
Okay.
Here we go.
My middle name is challenging.
40. Oh, it's still bad. It's still bad, but less bad.
But it's not enough to
hurt him.
So I approach going, oh, Stefan, it appears you have an excess of blood on account of it's flowing out of your body.
Actually, it's still your intelligence bonus minus that. So you might actually heal something because it's only -1.
Now, what is your intelligence one?
2.
So you heal 1 wound.
Yeah.
Yes! Success! By sheer competence. I think I just stuffed the bandage into the wound and go, that'll solve that.
Yeah, you did do slightly a better job at it until you did stuff the wound. Yeah, that point wasn't any better. The fingers inside the wound did seem to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You start checking over the next body. Anybody else checking the other one?
So
yeah. Racer would be. He'd be looking. Making sure, trying to find any other people that were on the coach and searching them.
It's moving one from one to the next.
Can I see if I can track any horses from this carriage?
Good call.
I think they're dead, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought they said they were dead. But...
Yeah.
The horse is dead. They haven't run away.
Okay. So, Aaron, you go over to this body and you start checking him over. You roll him over. What meets you is really shocking. You are looking at Paulus. Or it's got to be his brother or a twin or something. He's lying lifeless in front of you.
So I pause for a second and then I go, Paulus, I need you to come here and be prepared for a shock.
More so than the rest of the day?
It appears that I may have found your brother, I'm sorry to say.
And you notice as you roll him over,
Paulus is here?
His coat just fell open and there's a piece of paper sticking out from inside of his pocket.
Racer does not. He doesn't read it because he thinks it might be something, sensitive to the family. So he'll just hand it to Paulus.
Okay. You're looking down at what you look like every time you look in a mirror, really, but obviously not as dead. It's like looking back at yourself.
My God, I'm a handsome corpse.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Paulus. I did not know that you had a brother.
It doesn't quite look like Hector Paulus. He's sort of more and a bit and less.
Ah, how odd. Well, he had this missive in his coat. I have not looked at it, but perhaps he is a distant cousin.
Racer, why don't you just hang on to it for his grandkids or something?
I'll read it.
So I am going to make it clear to you on there. Okay.
Got it.
It reads, Messrs. Lock, Stock and Barrel, civil lawyers, commissioners for the oaths, etc. Gartenweg, Bogenhofen. Dear Herr Lieberung, sorry about that. After many lengthy researches, we have come to believe that you are the only living relative of one Baronet Lieberung, late of the town Ubersreich. This being the case, and any other herefore unknown and pertinent factors notwithstanding, I am herewith charged to inform you that you are the sole beneficiary of the late baronet's last will and testament, hereinafter referred to as the party of the first part, as well as to the entail of his title and all the lands and estates attached thereunto. I undersigned, acting in my capacity as legal executor of the aforementioned document of the party of the first part, do therefore urge you to make your way with all convenient speed to my offices at the addresses superscribed to this letter. Thereupon and upon your production of a signed and twofold witness affidavit confirming your identity as Castor Aloysius Lieberung, we shall be pleased to place into your hands the title deeds to the Lieberung manor and all attached lands and estates, and bequeathed sum of 20,000 gold crowns imperial. I remain your most humble and respectful servant, Dietrich Baal, KC LLB Alt. Signed this 10th day of Nax Hexen in the 2512th year of the Empire. And there is another piece of paper with it as well. And that reads, we, the undersigned, do solemnly swear and affirm that the bearer of this document is Castor Aloysius Lieberung, Ingrid Zickerman, priestess, Temple of Sigmar Nuln, and Oscar Helmut, Guildmaster, Guild of Merchants Nuln, witnessed by Julius Schwungrad, Worshipful Company of Advocates.
Now,
And we shall leave it there. Okay. So what we'll do before we go is I'm going to give out your experience. And scenes, I believe. No. In fact, I'll give that out over the week, the weeks in between this and the next session. Okay, so do we have anybody still alive in the room? We do. So what I would like everybody to do who has been watching tonight, apart from you're not allowed to vote for others, okay, the players, if you could all choose me a name of the party who you believe made the biggest contribution tonight into ridding the world of chaos.
Racer, sorry.
yeah, probably.
I was thinking Turpin because he's a hell of a cook.
I am
who that is? That's Turnip. I go by.
I am going to give it 60 gold seconds. So everybody who's watching now, if you could write a player's name down, and after 60 seconds, I will take the person with the most names. We've got one so far.
Way to go, McNeil. Good choice.
It's spelled turnip, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate.
Oh, we've got Stefan. Turnip. Oh dear. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the player of the week, the session is Josh. It is your job to put together the intro to the next session, which we will arrange on Discord. My name's Jim. I really thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you to my players. It's been an absolute pleasure already. I had to do hardly any work to start with. Please join us on Discord. Join in all the conversations there. Great Discord channels. Again, thank you for watching. We'll catch you again next time. And thank you to the players and good night.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Jim.